in the competition, rated only 5 points ahead of the Cats, mind you, and 3 points ahead of the Dockers. But they were the Dockers. They were number one.
Collingwood?
No.
There's not many left.
Who's got the two best key defence? Well, arguably the two best key defenders in the competition.
Melbourne. May and Lever.
So they conceded 1,483. The Cats conceded 1,488, and the Dockers conceded 1,486. Just interestingly, on the other side of that coin, the team that conceded the most of the finalists was the Bulldogs, and not far behind them were the two teams playing tonight, Brisbane and Richmond. And we've seen it, particularly the back end of the year. I've watched quite a bit of Brisbane. They leak like a sieve, and they get scored against so easily. And when they can't move the ball through the corridor with some fluency, when teams are able to shut Brisbane down, they don't seem to have a mechanism to be able to move the ball forward.
Okay, now, while we're in numbers gold, which is normally Kingy's area, I've just got this off the personal KFC Twitter. Neody, give them this one. So, we often hear about teams...
Is this bloke listening?
Yeah.
Is he invoiced? I'd add another zero, whoever that fella is.
He is on absolute fire. And now, you know, when we heard Jed Adcock talk about it before, about setting the ground up. One of the reasons you want to set the ground up is when you take the ball forward, sometimes the opposition get it, so they intercept it. You set the ground out well to stop them scoring against you coming back the other way. So one of the true measures of, particularly for pressing teams, they talk about intercept points against. Right, so that is, you've turned the footy over, they've got it, can you stop them scoring against you? Right, and then you do it the other way and you have a look at intercept points per game for.
Number one in that two stats are the Cats.
They are.
Hasn't been done for about 20 years, I don't reckon.
Yeah, that is true. That is
it something like that?
Yeah, it's a massive thing.
They're one. Yeah, they're one. Although I've always thought this is an odd. Maybe I'm a bit odd, which some people say.
No.
So this
hang on, stop. That's not a maybe. That's not grey. We're not in the grey there.
I always laugh.
You're very odd.
People say, points from turnovers or turnovers. Nobody goes out there to give the ball to the opposition. So you've actually, the whole idea of the game is to keep it off the opposition.
Correct.
So it's always a bit weird that if you've given it to the opposition, they've given it back to you at some point.
Yep. Or you win it back. You intercept.
Yes. So I don't sort of quite understand the theory behind that.
Mick Mobass used to carry on when the Boffins had come in. Were you allowed to say that?
Boffins?
Yeah, the Boffins they'd come in. There'd be numbers going everywhere, and they talk
bunts
about
and burners,
they'd be going
and
off
drinks hanging off the side of their hats.
Yeah, they'd be doing all these weird things, and the computers would go up. And Mick was he was wondering they were going to teach him how to turn it on. But what they were doing, and the numbers that they used to talk about turnovers, and one guy was saying, well. He said, hang on, let me get this straight. Mick used to say, I'm not a mathematical genius, but I'm looking at that number and that number, and that number's bigger. So what you're saying is, instead of having a centre bounce, what we'll do in this grand final in 2010 is just say, no bounce, we'll give it to you because we're better at getting it off you and we'll win.
That's right.
Let them start with the ball. It's odd, which is exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. But I just wonder too, I know you want to get to a break, Kingy, that...
Thank you, Ben.
No, we'll keep going.
Does the draw I know if you look at the numbers across... I wonder whether the sides actually can pack the numbers, say Geelong looking at Collingwood against the top eight, rather than, West Coast, it's probably going to get really skewed, the bottom side. So you want to know what they're doing against the better teams, rather than looking at across for a whole season saying they're really good at this, but they might have played 10 games against teams that are actually not in the finals.
Do you know what the coaches will say? The Boffins walk around, they do all that sort of stuff, and that's great. And they'll say, listen, we'll spend 10% of the time on that, we'll spend 90% on us, and I guarantee you, if our game plan, if we can get on the same page together longer than they get on the same page with them, we're going to win regardless of what percentage number and turnovers and clangers and intercepts and every other goodness knows number that they can find.
I've got a question for you, Neil, you can answer after the break.
Sure. Kingy really
do teams pick sides for their own game plan, or do they pick sides to negate the opposition's game plan? So you need to have some Gami chicken, have some popcorn chicken, have as much chicken as you like in the break, and hang bit of, SHIT on Kingy about owing his debt or whatever he owes to.
He does. I've just got another message there. He said, I distinctly told you not to say that on air, which is odd because he's texted me while I'm on the radio. Have a look at Kingy. Do you think he wants to go to a break?
Before the bounce, thanks to the Ponds and Island Hotels and Team Tyre Power. Team Tyre Power, your one-stop shop for all tyres and wheels in Belmont, Drysdale, North Geelong and Torquay. Brisbane Lions, Richmond bounce at 7:20 thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. Winner Weber Barbecue, only at Abco Cafe 24/7. Live, breathe, Krock footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, Abco. Fueled by Abco Cafe 24/7. Tom, Lingy and Loggy on K-Rock 955.
I feel seen on K-Rock and Action.
What you were going to do is act out a scene from a movie.
2 is how many times I've been married and divorced. 16 is the number of dollars I have in my bank account. 850-3943. That's my phone number. And with all the numbers I gave you, I'm guessing 0 is the number of times you're going to call it.
I don't think I know the movie, but I'm going to have a guess.
Really? Ooh,
Yeah.
Lady. Okay.
Aaron Brockovich?
Yeah!
Do you know what it was? I was like, close my eyes. It was Julia Roberts. When I opened my eyes, still Julia Roberts.
Tom, Lingy and Loggy. 6 a.m. weekdays. K-Rock 955.
The heart and soul of Vaughan Ponds is The Ponds. Enjoy a quality meal, grab a drink and relax. It's such a friendly atmosphere with a playroom for the kids. Choose from indoor or outdoor dining. Kick back in the all-new beer garden or catch up with mates in the sports bar. There's the cafe and bottle shop too, all open daily.
The Ponds.
The Ponds.
Love the Ponds.
At the Homemaker Centre, Vaughan Ponds. Bookings essential. View the menu at vaughanpondshotel.com.au.
Picking up a snack for the road? Drive through a KFC for a popcorn chicken go bucket for just $3.95 now. Just grab one and go! Not everywhere and not forever. Pick up only.
Got the feeling you've forgotten something? Wallet, keys, phone? Oh, that's it. Your insurance premium. It's easy to forget to pay your insurance premium on time. And if the insurer cancels your policy, you're left high and dry. That's why Geelong Insurance Brokers has extra checks and procedures in place to remind you and make sure you're not left without cover. It's just another way Geelong Insurance Brokers is looking out for you. Find out more about these and other benefits at geelonginsurancebrokers.com.au.
Hello, it's Jamie and Erin from Wombat Gully Plant Farm Geelong.
Dad, footy is on.
Okay, Erin, but I've got to tell everyone that just like a footy team, Wombat Gully Plant Farm are here to go the extra mile. Stick to the plan, have fun, work together and give it our best shot so your garden can be the greatest garden of all.
Dad, you sound just like a coach.
Oh, thanks, Erin. Now, whose turn is it to do the dishes?
Not me. I'm still on the bench, Dad.
Right. So see you soon at Wombat Gully Plant Farm.
201 Townsend Road, Moolap.
Looking to buy a boat? See the Bellarine Peninsula's largest indoor display of new boats at Geelong Marine World. Family owned and operated, Geelong Marine World has a huge range of fiberglass and aluminium boats powered by Suzuki, the ultimate outboard motor, ranging from 2.5 to 350 horsepower. Finance and insurance available and supported by an authorised Suzuki service centre. Cruising, fishing or fun. Get out on the water with Geelong Marine World. Port Arlington Road, Moolap. geelongmarineworld.com.au.
In this Geelong property boom, there are 2 rooms that can make your home hot property, the kitchen and the bathroom. Before you sell, see New Grove bench tops and give your old bench top and vanity a fresh modern look. It's a quick, easy way to add appeal and value. New Grove bench tops in Breakwater, open from 6:30am to 4:30pm weekdays so you can see them before work. Find out more now. newgrovebenchtops.com.au.
It's footy finals fever at Abco Cafe 24/7. To celebrate, get into Abco for your chance to win one of 5 Weber barbecues, plus a footy finals prize pack, including a slab of Pepsi Max Lemon, 24 4 and 20 pies, and 12 packs of Smith's chips. Just buy a specially marked 4 and 20 Pepsi, Schweppes or Smith's product to enter. So get footy finals fever and win a Weber at Abco Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
T's and C's apply.
The finals footy ferry is ready to rock. Departing from the Geelong waterfront, head to the G to witness the Cats take on the Pies in week 1 of the finals. On Saturday, September 3, Port Phillip Ferry's two-way service will get you there and back home again. Whoever you support, the ferry's the best way to get to the game. With a licensed bar on board, this boat will be rocking. Forget the hassle of driving in crowded trains. Get there the easy way via fast ferry, direct to Melbourne. Book now at portphillipferries.com.au.
Get your outdoor space fit for the footy finals with Harvey Norman, Corio and Warren Ponds. See the latest outdoor furniture range on display, in stock and on sale now, with immediate delivery on all in-stock items. Outdoor lounge and dining settings, egg chairs, pizza ovens and outdoor barbecue kitchens. New barbecue models out now. There's limited stock this season, so get in quick for the best choice. Harvey Norman, Geelong's first choice for outdoor furniture. Princes Highway, Corio and Warren Ponds.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, ABCO. Fueled by ABCO Cafe 24/7.
Thanks to Team Tyre Power and the Ponds and Norlane Hotel. Relax and catch up with friends at the Ponds and Norlane Hotel.
It's finals, definitely finals.
Mark Neal behaving Ben Casanelia.
Neildy's watching some sort of weightlifting from
Uzbekistan.
I think it's Robert Cabas sort of arrangement.
That's very unfair. I got a message from someone else in this room, so I opened it. I didn't know that was going to appear on my phone.
Oh, wow.
I can't even...
Some of the things...
Right. Team Tyre Power, your one-stop shop for all tyres and wheels in Belmont, Drysdale, North Geelong and Torquay. Stock a range of cheaper budget tyres to high-end alloy wheels. Big weekend of local footy coming up. It is Bellarine Grand Final, GDFL Preliminary Final and GFL Semi-Finals. We'll be broadcasting the first semi-final on Sunday. Colac and Leopold. All the teams now available at krockfootball.com.au, including the all-important teams for Torquay and Barwon Heads. Good luck to both those clubs in Saturday's BFNL Grand Final at Newcombe. We've got the teams in for both Richmond and Brisbane. No late change for either. The Medi subs, Calamar Chi for Brisbane, so take out Ryan Lester, Darcy Fort, the former Cat, and Kai Lohman, the first-year youngster. Richmond, out goes Graham, Ryan Mansell, Ivan Soldo. Shane Edwards is an interesting one, Neildy, as the Medi sub this evening.
It certainly is. Again, Kingy, I think we were talking off air about footy, and sometimes when we don't see teams all the time, it is interesting to see Shane Edwards as the Medi sub, but I'm sure if we had been watching them each week, it mightn't be as such a surprise. Similar to like we sit here each week and watch the Cats. Really for us, it's not a surprise to see Mark O'Connor out of the side. It's not a surprise to see Menegola not be able to get back in. And really, when you analyse the Cats midfield, it's really not a surprise that Parfitt's the one that's been pushed out of the mid. So it is because we don't see Richmond a lot.
Yep.
I have seen it quite a bit of the Tigers, Neildy. And Edwards, the end he's certainly been hoisted high for many years, but the end has sort of come quite quickly for him. He's been an absolute gun, Shane Edwards. Don't get me wrong. And he started his career probably a slowish start, but the middle part of his career and the back end of it has been absolutely fantastic. But at 33, he has struggled this year to have impact on games. And I look probably a little bit like the Mark O'Connor selection. I'm not surprised that he is the Medi sub. Mind you, he's pretty handy Medi sub to have.
Well, it could be perfect for him, Bennett. Like, we know how skillful he is, and that's truly, if he does get to take the field, he could seriously have an impact.
And I like the we don't know if Parfitt is going to be the Medi sub for the Cats.
You'd be shocked if he wasn't.
You would be, Kingy, but I like the fact that Edwards, I'd like to have a playmaker as your sub. I mean, somebody who can, because you can always use him, sort of fake an injury late in the game if you need to inject somebody.
We don't.
No, we don't do that. Every club does it. Port Adelaide did it every week, pretty much. But so you've just got somebody who can influence the game and create, be a bit of a creative player if they're only needed for a short time. I really think that's a really good way to go with the sub. And I think Parfitt's a good one for the Cats if he is the sub. And Edwards, similar tonight for the Tigers. For the Tigers. Reece Matheson's an interesting one. They've got Archie as their sub, who's been playing down back predominantly. So I don't know how that will go.
He can play forward a little bit too, Archie.
He's a pretty talented sort of player. So, but he has predominantly made his name at the Lions.
I'm surprised with that Lions out that Archie's a solid build that he wasn't actually back in the 22 with Lions going out on the side.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, Lions and Rayner are big outs for Brisbane. Rayner has finally found some form.
Well, he's coming off a knee, obviously, too, last year.
Yeah.
So it was always going to take him a little bit of time, but he's just that X factor in this.
And he's had a really good season, so he's a big loss. And just got some other players who are a little bit out of form. There's one who I think maybe it's a bit harsh, but he's just been going this year as Harris Andrews. I don't think he's had the same impact that he's had in previous seasons. I don't know whether he's carrying an injury. I know he moves a bit awkwardly at the best of times, but he's just not having the same impact. I'd say by his standards, which are pretty high, he's had a season you would classify as just.
Something we haven't discussed is the All-Australian squad. I know you're a huge Hugh McCluggage fan.
Yeah,
Benny.
He's an absolute gun.
Was he stiff not to be in the 22?
I think that midfield group, you could pick 15 players out of that and you wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he missed out. I think he's a very, very good player. I think the midfield is it's not as cut and dried as key position forwards or key position backs, I don't think. A, you don't have as many to choose from, and B, the parameters in which they're chosen from in terms of the midfield. He's kicked 18 goals. That's probably not bad. Nearly won a game for a midfielder.
That's really good.
I mean, look, he could be in, and I don't think anybody would whinge. He's not. So we always debate the blokes who are not in, and he's won.
Yeah, that's true. We do. And it is a very hard job to pick the All-Australian. And got so many good players in the competition, all in sparkling form. The one, Kingy, and I normally don't get into criticise, the one that absolutely flabbergasted me, maybe not for the 22, but I thought he would make it, when they announced 44 of the best performed players in the competition and Nick Dacos wasn't in it. I was absolutely stunned. That's the one I just couldn't. I don't care if he's been in for 5 minutes or not. If that kid wasn't in the best 44 performed players across the season, wow.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also thought Cam Guthrie was stiff. Not to be, I don't think he was even in the squad, was he?
Nah, he wasn't. No, all the cats that were in the squad made the team.
Yeah, I thought he was. I mean, you could argue that about a lot of players.
Yeah, you could. That was just the one I thought that was a little bit that raised my eyebrows.
You're right. They're always. I think sometimes it goes on a block of form. Well, it shouldn't, but it does.
I think you might be right, which is why I found it even more interesting. Yeah, I thought, wow. But look, really well done, of course, to all the players that made
the five
cats, and all so well deserved.
Has anybody actually? Oh, you probably know the answer to this, King. Has anyone been All Australian their first year, first season?
In a.
I think that's why they were saying Nick Dacos was going to be the one.
So he was the first. So nobody's ever done.
No, I don't think anybody's. No.
But then he didn't make the 40.
Well, not in the A. Well, you'd have to go back. So the All-Australian team obviously used to be based on the carnival when the states played each other, and then it was sort of hijacked by the AFL.
Yeah.
So into what it is now. So top of my head, no, but not something we can't. Well, it's probably easily researched in the end. We need to take another bounce before the bounce, thanks to the Ponds and Island Hotel.
Did you say take another bounce? You're going to touch it on the ground?
Take another break even. Team Tyre Power, your one-stop shop for all tyres and wheels in Belmont, Drysdale, North Geelong and Torquay. Something to fit all makes and models. It's Thursday night football. It's the start of the 2022 Toyota AFL Final Series. It's Brisbane and Richmond, and it's live on KROC 955. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Win a Weber barbecue. Live breathe. KROC footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. Tom, Lingy and Loggy on KROC 955.
It's going to be a long night at a pub with you if you were hosting the pub trivia.
Hosting, yeah, but weirdly she's really good on a team. She's
Thank
actually
you.
really handy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm niche. I can name all the songs on the Forrest Gump soundtrack 1 and 2.
Oh, good
You never know when you're going to need that bit of information.
Tom, Lingy and Loggy. 6 a.m. weekdays. KROC 955.
On road,
off-road. Check out Geelong 4-Wheel Drive and Camping, the home of Ironman 4x4. Everything is on display in the huge showroom, and you can get great deals on bull bars, winches, suspension, swags and more. They're your local agent for Carry Boy canopies, plus X-Rocks bars, Clearview towing mirrors, HEMA mapping and Ozpig. Before you go on your next 4-wheel drive and camping adventure, get a pre-trip inspection. Geelong 4-Wheel Drive and Camping, Melbourne Road, North Geelong, next to Supercheap.
Get your outdoor space fit for the footy finals with Harvey Norman, Corral and Warren Ponds. See the latest outdoor furniture range on display, in stock and on sale now. With immediate delivery on all in-stock items. Outdoor lounge and dining settings, egg chairs, pizza ovens and outdoor barbecue kitchens. New barbecue models out now. There's limited stock this season, so get in quick for the best choice. Harvey Norman, Geelong's first choice for outdoor furniture. Princes Highway, Corio and Warren Ponds.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dangerfield. When you're on the highway to the danger zone, make sure it's in a Rex Gorell new or used car. Rex Gorell just can't be beaten. They top the ladder when it comes to range, service, value and quality. So you'll only get the best when you buy your car from Rex Gorell. Family owned and committed to Geelong. Do what I've done. Join the winning team at Rex Gorell.
Rex Gorell, Fine Street on the Trobe Terrace, Geelong. Visit rexgorell.com.au. LMCTs 1308 8349.
There's nothing like a 2-for-1 deal, except Geelong Bank's 1 for 2. Hear us out. Introducing the 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Yep, you heard that right. 1% discount on our reference rate for 2 whole years. You only need a 20% deposit and you'll also get $2,000 cash back.
Top of the ladder and Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan deal. Is there anything Geelong can't do?
With Geelong Bank, it's as easy as 1-2.
Australian Credit Licence 244351. Standard lending criteria applies. Full terms and conditions at geelongbank.com.au.
Create something special in your garden this spring with South Point Garden Supplies, home of the largest range of garden and building products on the Surf Coast. Revive your garden with coloured sands and soils, decorative feature rocks, driveway toppings, pavers and building supplies. And protect your garden into summer with fresh mulch or organic composts. Delivering to commercial and residential projects throughout Geelong, the Surf Coast and inner city Melbourne. Or bring your own trailer. South Point Garden Supplies, behind Bunnings off the Surf Coast Highway, Torquay. southpt.com.au.
If you're looking to train for skills you want to gain, operator, digger, or work as a rigger. Multi-skills, unleash your potential. Multi-skills, unleash your potential.
Multiskills.com.au. RTO ID 40846.
Time now to check the stats for Kerrs High. Here's, Bruce, you're back.
Thank you. Hey, here's a huge stat, the big 4-0.
Who's had 40 possessions, Bruce? That is impressive.
Possessions? No, I'm talking about 40 years. Kerrs High is 40. They've got gear for any job you need to tackle.
Bruce, we're after some stats on the ground.
Oh, well, I say landscape it. That circle in the middle would suit a fire pit.
Kerrs Hire, locals serving locals for 40 years. North Geelong, Grovedale and Ocean Grove. KerrsHire.com.au.
In this Geelong property boom, there are 2 rooms that can make your home hot property, the kitchen and the bathroom. Before you sell, see New Grove bench tops and give your old bench top and vanity a fresh modern look. It's a quick, easy way to add appeal and value. New Grove bench tops in Breakwater. Open from 6:30am to 4:30pm weekdays so you can see them before work. Find out more now. newgrovebenchtops.com.au.
Thanks to our number 1 ticket holders, ABCO. Fueled by ABCO Cafe 24/7.
Yeah, we're before the bounce for the Ponds and Norlane Hotels and Team Tyre. Power the Ponds and Norlane Hotels. Relax and catch up with friends at the Ponds and Norlane Hotel. It's time for us now to go into the on-ground area for the playing of the national anthem and the pre-match ceremony. We're about to head there now as Brisbane and Richmond are lined up on the broadcast wing at the Gabba. Here is the pre-game
elimination
ceremony.
final between the Brisbane Lions and the Richmond Tigers. Now, the AFL acknowledges the Yagara and Turrbal people, the traditional owners of the land in which we meet tonight, and we pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Now, the AFL acknowledges playing this great game on this land. They respect the cultures of all First Peoples, their contribution to our nation and their contribution to Aussie rules football. Can I get you all to please turn your attentions to the big screen for the Welcome to Country.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Shannon Ruska. I am the Managing Director of Tribal Experiences, and we are the Yagara Turrbal Aboriginal Dancers of Brisbane City. We'd like to welcome you here to our country, to the place which we call Wollongabba, which means the whirling waterholes are also fighting talk. It's where the teams will come to battle the final series. As they take the finals, we welcome you to our land. We welcome you to the Gabba. Can I ask you to please rise, join with the coaches, the players and the umpires for the Australian National Anthem to be sung by Trent Bell.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden souls and wealth that's all. Our home is goodbye seas. Our land abounds in nature's gifts. Our beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains and let us sing. Advance Australia fair.
Trent Bell there with the national anthem as we prepare for Richmond and the Brisbane Lions. Just been brought to our attention off the KFC Twitter. Now KFC Twitter, get in for a $3.95 popcorn chicken go bucket at KFC today. Nathan Beggs has just informed us in regards to first-time All-Australians in their first year.
Yeah, Ben Hart was selected All-Australian in 1992, and also Nathan Beggs suggesting Nigel Smart was selected All-Australian from Adelaide, both players from Adelaide in 1991. And Spud Highland too texted in on the personal KFC Twitter suggesting that Ben Hart was an All-Australian in 1992. He was all over it. Spud's probably just come off the driving range after a good 3 or 4 hour session working on all part game.
Well, if he's on his way home, Kingy, we're out of jelly snakes in here. Spud, if you're listening, if you could drop some in from Geelong Confectionery, that'd be much appreciated for half time.
Geelong Insurance Brokers, covering Geelong for 29 years. Let's get the head-to-head matchup that you're keeping an eye on this evening, please, Neely. Where are you heading for your head-to-head?
Well, I'm going to Brisbane forward line, Kingy, and I'm looking at Charlie Cameron. Now, the Tigers have got some options as to who goes to him, so I'm going to come back to you as to which way they go. I just feel that for Brisbane to win, Charlie Cameron has to play a very, very good game, and if he's off the boil or kept to 2 goals and under, Richmond win.
Toby Nankervis has won the toss as skipper this evening and will kick to the right of your K-Rock radio on this opening quarter. South Point Garden Supplies, Ash and the team at South Point Garden Supplies, 15 Boneyards Avenue in Torquay, just behind the Bunnings. As you'd expect, Brisbane in September, not much to complain about. Maybe some dew later on the grass on a clear night in Brisbane, but at this stage we expect pretty good conditions with a bit of rain developing over the next couple of days in the Queensland capital. We'll keep an eye on the matchups for Wombat Gully Plant Farm. Neely, who wins and by how much?
Oh, so close, Kingy. Toss of the coin, Brisbane only because it's there. Brisbane 3 points.
Davey Collins, grumpy since 1992.
Brisbane by a goal.
Brisbane by a goal. Benny?
No, the Tigers. Tigers by 26.
Yeah, Tigers for me this evening too, and I think pretty comfortably they'll do. I reckon they might win this by 34 points tonight. I reckon they'll get up and going. Dusty's gone forward, Neildy, to kick things off.
He certainly has. He's going to the goal square by the look of things, Kingy. So that's a bit of a turn up for the books. Yes, he is in the goal square.
So he's got Darcy Gardner as a Wombat Gully Plant Farm match-up to kick things off. The only player ever drafted from Queenscliff, Darcy Gardner, playing now 152 games in the maroon, blue and gold.
Tarrant to Danaher, so that's a big job for Robbie Tarrant.
Game 150 for Danaher. Opening quarter for Harvey Norman. Here's Benny on K-Rock Football.
So finals 2022 style is underway at the Gabba. First kick of the game, or first possession of Robinson. Gets it out the back to Coleman. He had a little fumble. Rioli coming through, well tackled. Wrapped up, is that by Rich? And it might have been Zorko, was it, over the top doing the tackling? The umpire calls for the ball to throw it up.
Koch and Lockie Neal at this stage running together. What a battle.
Nick Curvis winning the tap. Sorry, Benny. Koch now kick smothered. Chance here for Neal. A handball out the side door to McCluggage. Right half back. He kicks under a bit of pressure, very wide, but it's a well-weighted kick onto the chest of McStay. Or is it Cameron? It's Cameron on the outer side there taking the mark. Meredith, Finlay and Mollison, the umpires controlling this one this evening as Cameron kicks towards half forward. Back with the fight, well judged by Jack Ross, who takes the mark. Left half back outer side. He'll send it back from whence it came towards left half forward. Socket out of mid-air by Reeve. It was a good volley. Got a good piece of it, but he's put it out on the full. And it'll be a free kick to the Lions in the right back pocket.
Yeah, straight away, Richmond has slowed down the Brisbane ball use twice. They've just gone long and high, not the way they normally play.
No, when you shut them down through the middle, they've struggled. Rich's kicks an absolute shocker. Straight to Vlauston, who handballs wide to Broad. Broad on the left, round the corner. His kick ill-directed. Cameron dropped what he should have taken. Finds it at ground level, and his kick was well smothered by Baker. Much to the delight of the Richmond fans who have made the journey to the Gabba, and the ball's out for a throw-in at half forward.
Charlie Cameron playing really high up the ground. I think he's had 2 or 3 touches all on the half-back line.
Left half forward boundary throw in. McInerney in game 100, maybe winning that tap down. Ball rolling towards the boundary line. Sonsi, handball back to Nankervis, who jammed it on the boot inside forward 50. Back with the fight. Starcevich couldn't mark. Chance here now for Payne. Payne drives a kick towards the wing, but on the chest, here's Broad again. Just in back play, some issues for Bolton. We'll keep an eye on that for St John of God. Might have copped a poke in the left eye. So just a little concern there for him. He's just telling the trainer he's okay, but for St John of God, not ideal. Kick towards half forward. Back with the fight. Mark almost taken. Chance here for Ross. There's a lion down, and the kick inside 50 is good for Cochin. Quickly, Cochin on with it, and he wanted McIntosh, who slipped over, but Rioli, thankfully, was there as well, and the kick landed on his chest. I reckon McIntosh was the intended target, but they've got real issues because Oscar McInerney is in a world of pain in back play for St John of God. Let's have a look at the contest.
That's the contest, I think.
Yeah, so that was the poke in the eye, and McInerney trying to explain what you've seen there, Neildy.
Well, he's trying to spoil King, and he's just face planted the head in front of him. He's looked to be knocked himself out.
So that'll be a concussion protocol, you would suspect, and Rioli has kicked the goal. So what a horrible start for the Lions. They look like they'll be without their ruck for the rest of the evening. So what are they going to do to change things up from there? Because their sub is Calamar Chi. So if McInerney subbed out of the game, Joe Danaher potentially looms as their ruck for the rest of the night, and that completely changes their forward structure.
It certainly does, unless they sacrifice someone like McStay and leave the guns down there. But it would look to be Danaher. You don't want to lose your ruckman. We'll wait to see what happens. But certainly he runs into the head in front of him in a marking contest, and blood knows he looks to be sick and sorry. Great work by the carrying off the ground. He's gone, I would suggest, big time.
His head's gone into the back of Jack Ross, I reckon. Oh, he's just so unlucky. And
he's out.
He was out. And we won't see Oscar McInerney. Game 100 for him has come to a conclusion very quickly, and Calamar Chi's up off the bench and ready to go and into the contest. So I suspect that decision's already been made, Benny.
Yeah, that's an absolutely diabolical blow for the Lions. Nankervis, Prestia had a little fumble and found it at ground level. Got it out the back to McIntosh. McIntosh to half forward. Rewalt in a one-on-one. Payne did all right. Ball at ground level. Rewalt had some support coming through his short, but he couldn't get a handle on the Thomas Williams Sheridan. It's gone out for a throw in 48 metres around from the Richmond goal. And McInerney on the bench now. They're trying to stem that bleeding from the nose, but I'd be staggered if he was able to return to this contest. The way he went down and his reaction and body position post that contest on the ground. So free kick from the throw-in will go to Starcevic, and Neely again unable to move the ball quickly. They're just going to have to go down the line.
Yeah, absolutely. Richmond very quick to jump into their defensive positioning.
Hugo Brench tops with the blood rule as Hipwood couldn't take the mark. Wonderful pick up. Berry handball release. McCluggage cuts back through traffic, lowers the eyes inside 450, but the kick was poor and Broad judging it best as Cameron might have slipped over. Across the face of goal he goes, and they'll look to attack by the outer side of the ground. Chance here to run. It's in the hands of Sonzi, is it? We're short. The kick now towards the wing is an okay one, and marking is Sonzi. Tyler Sonzi playing just his 7th game out of the Darren Buick Footy Factory at the Eastern Rangers, and now going inside 450, and Rioli has marked left forward pocket. That's Morris Rioli Jr.
Sounds a bit like a brand of mattress, doesn't it? I've got the Sonzi.
It does. Now, just
from Sandman Mattress Factory.
It is. While you're discussing mattress brands, just Daniel Rioli off half-back again. Wasn't chased by the Brisbane half-forwards. That's really poor. He kicked the first goal, and he was the one that delivered this footy inside 50 for Morris Rioli to line up for the Tigers' second.
Just got a sneaking suspicion of an easy kill tonight for the Tigers. Left forward pocket, man on the mark, stands about 35 from goal. Rioli sends it on its way, and he has hit the post just above the padding. The right-hand goal post, which was the one furthest from him, and they're 1-1-7, the Tigers. No score, Brisbane, who are very quick to get on with it, Benny.
They are. Coleman marks, defensive 50, and again, he's not much on. He comes wide. How will the kick come off? It does. Falls into the lap of Starcevic. He goes to half forward. His kick's an absolute mungbean, though. Had players moving, and then Berry gets pushed over once a free umpire says no, and the ball goes out for a throw-in right on the paint of 50. Opportunity, or small half opportunity there for the Lions. Nearly went begging.
It did. Poor kick. Now, Ben, they've been really good throughout the year, Lions, in terms of the stoppages in this part of the ground. We'll just see how they go.
There's plenty of players around this pill, and Curvis will be first to meet it. Shallow throw-in. Tapped it only as far as Neil, who handballs to the voice of Berry at the back of the contest. He goes on the right shoe. Long ball, top of the square. Danaher's there. Ball gets out the back. Who's there? Nobody. Boundary line wins. Ball's out for a throw-in 3 metres around from Brisbane's goal.
Interesting that the stoppage was just on the 50. They sent Danaher to be the deepest forward. McStay came out to take the ruck duties, and we'll just see if that continues. Again, McStay's doing the ruck work. Danaher's deep in the forward line.
So that medical sub has been activated for St John of God. Tapped down now Curvis. Handball, Prestia. Chance now to get out of trouble. Baker involved. Rioli, handball on the bounce. Sonzi seen a little bit of it early. Just looked it over his head, but missed the intended target. Chance here for the Lions. Handball back to Berry. Berry lowered the eyes beautifully, and the mark taken by McCluggage. 35 out directly in front, and to say the Lions need a settler is an understatement, Neildy, in this opening term, that on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock has gone 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, it certainly is, Kingy. Like, Richmond have dominated in terms of field position and probably disposals. One thing, if he kicks this goal, McCluggage, and Ben told us he's kicked 18 for the year so far, is it's on the back of some great forward pressure. Richmond have had enough opportunities to clear that footy.
This has been his Achilles heel, set shot goal kicking.
Warrnambool product, All-Australian squad member this year, and he's drilled it, Benny. Nice reverse, Moz, from you. I know you're a McCluggage fan and have been since the day he was taken very high up in the draft. I think he was a pick 2 or 3.
I think he was.
Yeah, from out of, I think, South Warrnambool's his home club.
Correct.
Down in the Hampton League through the GWV Rebels. Would have been a Geelong Falcon back in the old days before they rezoned the areas. 1-1-7, the Tigers. Brisbane, 1 straight 6, opening quarter. Thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Kingy, as you said, good settler, just over 5.5 minutes play, but Brisbane have been a little bit at sea. They couldn't get their hands on the footy, couldn't get it inside 50, and they've lost their big ruckman to the concussion protocol.
Do you think that nearly one of the coaches might go out to Tyler Sonzi at quarter time and say, look, we're in the AFL, do not try a look-away handball over your head in your 7th game?
Words to that effect, yes.
So the kid tried something that was quite extraordinary. It didn't come off, and it's cost his team a goal. Good learning tool. Ball back in the middle, and McStay has gone into the ruck. Prestia goes off the ground, though, to half forward. He'll be first back. Gardner tracks it, handballs to Payne. Showing some dash off the back. Kicks it out on the full. Big man was at full speed, full tilt, and couldn't coordinate the kicking action. And Camden McIntosh will take the result and 3.5 forward for the Tigers.
McIntosh, he's about 80 from home, drives it into the right forward pocket, wanting Lynch. Spoil came from Payne. Is it kept alive? It is. Bailey next to the boundary line sends a kick to the wing, back with the fight. Matheson did okay, provided a contest on Broad, and then a soccer off the ground by Danaher. Game 150 for him, rolls it towards left half forward, trying to get a handle on the footy, but not doing so successfully. His hipwood and seeing it out. He's Boston, and he did everything bar make it obvious that he was going that way. Well, actually, it was very obvious, but the umpire was never pinging him for that.
It was very obvious. Good work then by Brisbane just to force that footy forward. It wasn't pretty, but they've got it in the exact same position, almost on the 50 where they had the previous throw in.
Boundary throw in, McStay. Double palm down there, Curvis, and then knocked forward again into the path of Presty, who just did a little shimmy on Neil to get away. Kick towards the broadcast wing, back with the flight. Andrews couldn't take the mark. Ball hits the ground and is knocked forward. Lynch into the path of Bolton. Bolton with a bounce, ran to 50, pulled the kick beautifully to Rioli. He loops a handball over the top. Martin just got a handle on it and then was able to kick it through for a goal. Great transition from the Tigers. Won the footy at half-back. Moved it brilliantly down the broadcast wing, and Dusty's back. Hasn't played since round 16 against the Eagles, and he kicks a goal. Goal 303 of his career, and the second for the night for the Tigers. They're 2-1-13. Brisbane are 1 straight 6. Opening quarter thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices. Cryo and Warren Ponds. And for multi-skills, here's Mark Neal.
Kingy, we know that footy is just a game of centimetres. There was a long kick by Richmond coming out of their back 50. Tom Lynch was up against 2 players and they had him beaten. Harris Andrews got both hands on the ball to mark it. He dropped the ball and fell over. Lynch was able to keep his feet. He belted the footy into the path of Bolton, who was the loose Richmond player. That was so close to being a Brisbane ball. They did everything right except that the final skill execution, it should have been their way.
They will. Back in the middle. Lions will get it through Neil. He gives it to Wilmot. Wilmot out the back, handballs, trying to get it to Pryor. Can he break the Rioli tackle? He can't. He wrapped him up, Rioli. A goal assist moment to go. A good tackle there. And the ball will be thrown up at centre-half forward for Brisbane.
If you get chicken winged and you can't release the footy, that should be holding the ball. Here's a chance for Archie, the activated sub, pulled the trigger from 45 and just missed to the left. Because if you're chicken winged and you've got the ball in one arm, you can still drop it on your boot. And if you can't, and you hold it in, then you've chosen not to get rid of the footy.
So you're saying tonight they just should remove the prior opportunity rule?
There is no prior opportunity rule unless if you're chicken wing like that, surely you've still got the ability to be able to get rid of the footy. You're just holding it in. Nobody's holding it into you.
He wasn't lying on his back. It's bad for radio.
Still got to find a way to get rid of the footy, don't you?
Set up a round table discussion about this during the week. The Tigers have got it through short. It goes with a high up and under into the middle. Rich is there, should have marked, he didn't. Sonsi took it, the mattress, got it out the back. He goes to Cumberland on the left, a squirting ball inside forward 50. And he just had too much pepper on it. And it went over the top of all players and out for a throw. It was over the top of Pickett, actually, who chased the ball back. And
that's his nickname from now on, isn't it?
The mattress.
Sonsi, yeah, whatever.
Sounds like a mattress. I slept soundly on my Sonsi.
Actually, my question for you will be in the ad break.
Boundary throw in, right half forward, Tigers in attack. Fisted down from behind by Ben Miller, who's in the team tonight. And quick clearing kick by Starcevic is an absolute howler as he puts it out of bounds on the full. And the Tigers, through Ross, come inboard. And it's with Robbie Tarrant. Robbie Tarrant tonight playing just his 6th final. I thought he'd played more than 5 finals with the Kangaroos, but just his 6th, kick inside forward 50. Front of the pack, McCluggage after the spillage, jammed it on his left boot, and Danaher is the exit, and he marks it left half back.
Problem with this is Danaher marks it there, and
what's he got?
Not much.
Shorty goes to Pryor, Jackson with an X, and then on the left boot he drives it now towards half forward, and there's no Danaher, and they turn it over, and the mark taken by Floston a little bit too easily at right half back, and he wants the corridor, but he's just overcooked the kick, Benny.
He has. They might turn it over here. Wilmot has got it. Goes to half forward. Low down McStay. Needs to move it quickly. On the left. Lurking in the pocket. Lurker. That's front on contact, Archie. Surely. The Richmond got back desperately, but might have been Bolter. And he did force the spoil, but he did so illegally. Every day of the week, that is front on contact. And Vlauston, well, he had the right move, Neildy. He just didn't execute the skill.
He did not, and we can see, Ben, we had a discussion about this statistic. If you can intercept the footy, turn it over from the opposition and get it forward, go quickly, go through the middle of the ground, you're likely to score.
So Archie is on as the Medi sub very early for Oscar McInerney. Has played mostly down back, and that's why he's had 2 shots at goal and missed both of them. He's set up Neildy suggesting wasn't ideal.
Bit skew with.
Well, was it? He went the drop punt from that angle. You don't see that very often with the modern player.
Banana.
A defender. 1-2-8 plays 2-1-13. Tigers lead. Early going first term thanks to Harvey Norman.
Vlauston into the right back pocket, and he'll go short with the kick and take it as short.
Inside 50s for Kerrs Hire. 9-5 in favour of the Tigers. Marks 14-6 in favour of the Tigers.
Short chipped it over the top to Vlauston, who ran away from Robinson, driving it long to the wing, and all dropping where he should take it was Miller. Front of the Pickett. Now it's lost in the tackle by Lynch, and it's called holding the ball, and the free kick will go to Harris Andrews.
So it's good intent by Harris Andrews, Ben. We mentioned earlier we didn't think he's a very good player, but we didn't think this was his very best season. Good to see him playing with that intent against Lynch.
Yeah, he's going to need to do it all night. Handballs away and kicks it down the line. Pack of players there. For the ball was Robertson, had a fumble. Comes to Vlauston, who's getting plenty of it. High up and under, will end up back in the wing. Wilmot, who's been busy early, he slapped it down. The ball comes back to him. In fact, it was Payne. Gardner got it to Neil. Oh, Neil, some fancy dancing in traffic. Was good stuff. Starcevic, look out, you're gone. Took too long. I don't think he was actually the intended recipient of the handball from Neil, but he was gliding by, took it, then was under pressure, and Richmond will get a chance to rebound with a wide ball. It'll end up with Dusty, who marks and plays it.
He marked the kick at Pickett, now the outside of the right boot to a one-on-one, and Revolt had the mismatch against Jackson Pryor. He's had Jack Payne for most of the opening quarter for Wombat Gully Plant Farm, but he's lost him in transition. And the tackle of Marlon Pickett was a cracker to bring down Brandon Starcevic to set that up. And then Martin recognising the mismatch, and he just worked him, Revolt, under the footy a little bit too easy. And Jack Revolt playing game 326 tonight. He averages 3 goals a game against the Lions, 60 goals to 32 from 21 previous games. He starts at left, and that's where it'll stay. In fact, it'll just have to carry and go through from behind. The margin is again a goal. Richmond or Archbishop Tesman 2-2-14 Valet. Brisbane a 1-2-8 opening term on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock has gone 17 minutes.
Coleman down the middle to McCluggage. They've opened him up here. Robertson handballs over the top. Comes back to Robinson. He had to be quick to McInerney. Back to Robinson again. Pushed as he kicked. Only went a few metres. McCluggage was involved earlier. Sold some candy on the right. Inside forward 50. He wants McCarthy. Umpires, he paid the mark. He hasn't. Play on advantage. And Rioli will clear for the Tigers.
That's Daniel to half back for the Tigers. Down low was Lynch knocking into the path of Bolton. Looped a handball over the top. Pickett in the number 50, but he's turned it over to McCluggage. He's been good. Handball off. Hipwood driving it into the left forward pocket. Diving with Charlie Cameron waiting for a free kick that's never going to come. And we'll get a boundary throw in left forward pocket. Gee, bit stiff. McCarthy not to be paid the mark. Neildy, a Hamlin hanger contender it would have been.
Close, Kingy, but not close enough.
Did Baker get first hands on it?
Oh, he did. Baker touched it, but sometimes we see those paid.
Right, left forward pocket, I should say. Lions in attack. Hipwood to do the ruck work against Miller. Hipwood winning the tap down. Front of the pack numbers for the Tigers. There should be a free kick for holding the ball there. I reckon Ross wrapped up nicely by Cameron after the receive from Sonsi. And Charlie Cameron has it. So they've been able to just steady themselves. I know they trail by a goal, Brisbane. Cameron just sits it up. What's he got? There's Tigers queuing up, and they drop mark there by Gibkiss. But the Tigers, the Lions can't make them pay, although it's going to spill, and too slow in the end. McCarthy, Morris Rioli Jr. wins the free kick. Now the clearing kick of Gibkiss, Sonsi just kicks for absolute territory, but Wilmot is going to send it back from whence it came.
Yeah, Wilmot's kick's an absolute howler. Kicked it into the Richmond player, then worked forward and kicked it off the ground. Oh, good work. That's really good work there. Getting back by Miller. And Richmond will now clear through the middle. Wanted Bolton. Payne did all right. Coming through was Ross. He was tackled without the ball. Umpire said play on. Starcevic gives to Zorko. Might be his first touch. The skipper goes wide. Lovely ball. And he's got Archie again lurking inside the forward pocket. And Hardwick is not happy, Neildy.
No, he's not. They're trying to use the middle of the ground, the Tigers, and fair enough. But their skill level going through there, they keep turning the footy over. And Brisbane getting the intercepts. A lot of pressure at the moment. It's a final. We talked about what a final looks like. Now, Archie found himself in a whole lot of space. Let's see if he can do better than his previous shot for goal.
Already kicked 2 behinds. Comes in and he kicks the goal. So the Medi sub activated early has been dangerous up forward. 1 goal, 2 he's kicked. Could have kicked, should have kicked 2. The other one was a difficult opportunity. But he draws his side level with Richmond. 2-2, 14 apiece. 20 minutes gone on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. And the first term thanks to Harvey Norman. Think Harvey Norman for all the big brands at Geelong's best prices.
Ben, just some numbers in a moment, because I'm just thinking probably in the last 5 minutes, Brisbane have been able to match the Tigers' intense pressure, which has been really good.
They have. They've levelled up the inside 50s now, 10 apiece. Tackles are 6 apiece. Brisbane lead by 2 in the contested possession. They've had 4 more disposals. Richmond controlling the game a little bit with marks, 18-8, and nothing in the uncontested possession. McCluggage has had 7, Neil 6, and for the Tigers, Vlauston's had 7, and Sonsi the mattress has had 6. That's all happening for Kerrs Hire.
100% locally owned and operated in Geelong. Back in the middle. Umpire Meredith puts it into the turf. Not a bad bounce, but it's grabbed out of the ruck by Danaher, who jams it on the boot to centre half forward. It floats. Archie front position, spoiled away. It ricochets inside 450 here for the Lions. Bailey went to go off the ground, didn't get much piece of it. Then he picked up the loose ball. It was taken by Boston, and we'll get a ball up about 35 out from the Lions' goal, just left of centre. 2-2, 14 apiece, opening quarter, thanks to Harvey Norman. Ball into the air. Danaher just grabbed it out of the ruck, then fired a handball up the chimney, fisted forward by McCarthy. Clearing kick out of the pack, short, didn't go 15, taken by Rich on the juggle. Gave it to Zorko, and the Lions skipper was smart, kept his head, went wide with a kick. Long, driving bomb, just off to the right from Payne, and through for a minor score. Noted goal kicker Jack Payne, game 25 for him tonight. He's just kicked the 2 goals previously. And their team, though, his team that leads by a point, 2-3-15, playing 2-2-14, Benny.
Ball skips to Cumberland, who goes down the line to the wing. Good mark by Miller. Good size, Miller, good mover. Ben Miller, 198.96. Down the line, or fumbling was Prestia. Coleman there, some fancy dancing on the left, comes back inboard. He wanted Bailey. Gibcus did really well. Handball to Short off the right, goes short, and he wants his man there, and that's a good mark. He's at the mattress again. Sonsi on the left, squirts a ball inside forward 50. Gardner, Martin, he'll keep it in play. Martin will go with something extraordinary. And it was nearly extraordinary, but not extraordinary enough. And just a minor score. But we are locked at 2-3, 15 apiece, first term, thanks to Harvey Norman.
Game settled into a bit of a rhythm now.
It has, King. It's a really good contest. I don't know much about Jackson Pryor with an X at 29 games. He's just offering Dustin Martin some advice on how to kick a goal. That's an interesting option.
Rich short to Andrews. Andrews short to Wilmot on debut. Under pressure, head of handball back to Andrews. Andrews taken in a tackle by Revolt, and the umpire takes some mercy on Harris Andrews and says, I'll ball it up 30 metres out from goal. Did he try to take on the tackle? Is there a fend off there trying to move Revolt off him?
Should have been holding the ball.
Yeah, I agree.
From the ruck contest, tap one down by Nankervis, but the clearing kick comes out from Pryor. He bangs it to the outer wing. Tigers with the numbers. Chance to go inside forward 50. Rosser driving long ball to the top of the goal square. Back to the flight. Andrews, judging it best, takes the mark.
That's better. Now he's got to hit the target. That last one was just a complete unforced error. He's only trying to kick it 9 metres, and that's why the ball nearly went through the goal. So Andrews now just kicks it outside. Defensive 50. Is that a mark by Bolter? He's claiming it, and the umpire is going to pay it. McStay claimed it was touched. He comes inboard. Good kick. Really good kick. He's got Cochin, the former skipper. And Cochin wants to play on. Runs to 50. Locks and loads on a long bomb. And Cochin has kicked a goal. Only 4 on the year coming in. Make that number 5. And his team leads by that margin. 3-3-21. Brisbane 2-3-15, first term, thanks to Harvey Norman. And not for the first time tonight, Neildy, Cochin involved, getting loose across half forward.
A very classy player, Cass. Really smart decision. He was loose. As soon as he got it, when he went to play on, that's a magnificent finish by the 3-time premiership captain. Just interesting, that mark that Bolter took. Dan McStay, like he's had a really good year, or a couple of good years. this is a final. Just be stronger in that contest. He had the front position as a key forward. He needed to be stronger to bring that ball to ground, not be outmarked by a key defender. That's where the turnover took place, and that's why the goal was scored.
Trent Cotchin tonight playing game 287. He goes into 8th all time. I think he goes past Chris Newman in terms of games played. Bounce in the middle. Oh, that's high. Free kick surely going to the Tigers, and it's going to go to Prestia against Lockie Neal. So, chance to go forward again. What's that inside 50 number again, please, Benny? As he gives a handball off.
13-12.
To Boston cruising past. It's a bit of a floater inside 50. Big double fist from behind. Might have been from Pryor. Front of the pack. Pickett just bounced off a would-be tackler who's in a bit of trouble in back play. Kick to the top of the square through the arms of Lynch. Chance tracking it back for Pryor, and it's out of bounds. Lockie Neal hit the deck hard. He's okay. He's got to his feet, but that's the last thing that they would have needed there. Try to take on Pickett. He might have clipped one, caught one to the chin.
He certainly did, King. If the
I suspect that
get off, and
I think the doctors will have a look at that. What if you'll do a Jake College-Aston and try and run away?
So throw in close to Richmond's goal. Handball. They're claiming deliberate, and it's going to get paid. Is that against Starcevic for deliberate? He was on the ground. He handballed to the line. It went over. And 5 Richmond players had their hands out pleading with the umpire.
Was Coleman close?
Yes. I would have thought. It's just a skill error, isn't it?
So Bolton, not the man you want taking the free. 3 steps round the arc. Bolton kicks the goal. So a couple of unforced errors from the Lions have been costly. We'll see the replay and debate the merits of that insufficient intent. And now the Tigers lead by a couple though, 4-3-27, Brisbane at 2-3-15. 3.5 minutes remaining to a quarter time in this first term, thanks to Harvey Norman.
Richmond's ability to get it in and score very quickly. Last 2 goals have come in breakneck speed. Good pressure from the Tigers forwards. Like to see that free kick again, but it's irrelevant. You can't get it back. It was there because of really good pressure. If I was Brisbane, I'd be really worried about that Lockie Neal one. They've shown it again. The reason they keep showing it is he does get hit in the head. Don't really understand the ins and outs, the concussion protocols. But if it is simple as a hit in the head, he has to go off. Great finish by Shea Bolton there.
Yeah, it'd be the 20 minutes potentially to have a look at it.
He stayed out there.
So 12 points is a margin. It's the biggest of the evening, and the Tigers have it late in this first quarter. Now Curvis winning the tap down this time. Chance here for the Lions. Robinson coming off his wing for Brisbane, but he turned it over. Cotchin lost it in the tackle of McStay. Gardner picked up the loose ball, kicked towards right half forward. It's going to be a free kick for a hold, and it's going to go to the Lions, to McCluggage. Down on the mark, point of the square, right half forward. Mitch Robinson screaming for it at centre half forward. Instead he kicks for the pocket. Marking target was Hipwood. Is there a free kick for an arm chop? And he's going to get one. He picked it, Neildy, for multi-skills. You could see that Boston, I think it was.
Yeah, absolutely, Kingy.
Found himself out of the contest, and if he hadn't have played at the arms, Hipwood was going to mark comfortably, you would have suspected, and he just dragged the arms down. And in the right forward pocket, which will suit the left boot of Eric Hipwood. A shot at goal to pull the margin back to 6 points. Still only 24, Eric Hipwood. Feels like he's been around forever.
It's because he's played 125 games.
And missed a year with a knee.
Yeah, okay.
Eric Hipwood. Man on the mark, stands about 35 from goal, about 5 metres in from the boundary line. So he'll have to swing out to open up the angle a bit. It's not a bad effort. It's a Lemmy's Tavern goal of the night contender, and he likes it too. Lemmy's celebrating 21 years, Friday to Sunday at 9, free before 10 p.m. And Eric Hipwood celebrating as he pulls his team to within a kick as we approach quarter time in this opening term. Thanks to Harvey Norman, 3-3-21 the Lions. Richmond, 4-3-27 for multi-skills. Unleash your potential with construction industry training at multi-skills. Check out multiskills.com.au. Here's Mark Neal.
Kingy, really important centre clearance then. Dan McStay's in the ruck, so Brisbane are going to be up against it in terms of getting hit out to advantage, but they really scrapped and worked hard. That's why the footy went forward. Just watching the Vlosten technique, he's actually tried to spoil the ball with his arm. That's not the one closest to the body. The one closest to the body grabs the arm to pull it down and tries to disguise it. He did it pretty well, but well picked up by the umpire. Definite free kick and another great shot for goal.
Cluggage has been good for the Lions. 8 touches. Won a key one-on-one there at half forward. So ball back in the middle. McStay in the ruck. McInerney off with concussion. Gone for the night. In the opening minutes, Nankervis, his counterpart, kicks it forward for the Tigers. Coleman went back with courage. Couldn't complete the mark, though. Rioli dangerous at ground level. Starcevic avoids the crisis. Handballs that ball to Andrews, who hacks it, and fortuitously it lands in the breadbasket of Bailey.
And they're away through the middle. Here's Neil driving a ball long inside forward 50. Best position, Cameron couldn't mark. Good spoil broad. Front of the pack, good pressure from Cameron, but it spilled for Baker. Baker's wide kick is okay. And McIntosh is marked at left half back for the Tigers. He goes towards the wing, and coming up and taking the mark is Rioli. One that they considered maybe a little bit unlucky not to be All-Australian. Kick forward to the wing towards Lynch. Had it stolen from his grasp by Andrews, and that was after he'd completed the mark according to the umpire. Or did he pay the free kick? He did. He paid.
Good battle between those two.
And it'll be an inside 50 kick towards 25 from goal. So out the back, Bolton ready to pounce. 1-2. Couldn't get his boot on the ball. That'll be holding the ball. And Gardner cleans up. And his kick had a little bit too much on it on the way out. McIntosh. And then a good tackle laid by Andrews. Although that might be holding the man if he's not careful. They're hanging on a little bit too long. And the umpire said, no, all's good. And Bolton just tried to do a little bit too much. And in the end, couldn't get it on the boot. Well done by Starcevic. There is the free kick actually being paid to McIntosh. It's out in the full against Jared Berry, I should say.
So that's stiff. It is very. Should have been a free kick against Bolton actually for holding the ball. He actually missed the ball when he went to kick it. Oh. So that's caused by Gardner's skill level there. That's just cost them big time out of the back half.
Camden McIntosh tight against the boundary line. Man stands on the boundary line that's on the mark about 40 from goal. This is Dusty's pocket in the 2020 grand final. McIntosh, he actually puts it across the face and sits it up. I'll fly. Nankervis is one of those off the front of the pack. Cumberland couldn't get it on his boot. Bolton will track it to the boundary line. Went to snap. Wonderful smother. Starcevic. Ball to flex. And then fisted forward by Robertson of Brisbane. That's Devon Robertson. Kick inside 50 by Baker. Won't get to its intended target of Cumberland. And there'll be a free kick or mark paid. And it'll go to Starcevic, who's, as expected, held up strong down back.
Yeah, he's been great. He's now the leading possession when it joins McCluggage on 8. Vlauston and Sonsi, the mattress, have had 7 for the Tigers. So Starcevic just goes long down the line. Sia players. Ball hits the deck near. Look at that roving front and square. Handballs to Coleman. He gives back to Bailey. Bailey rides the tackle, then breaks the tackle. Handballs quickly to mistake. Back to Bailey. Didn't come off, although Bailey kept working. Then he went to kick it off the ground, but went straight into a Richmond opponent. Now the Tigers have turned it over. Rioli, hand pass wide to the voice of Pickett. Will it sit for him? It does. He's got options. Rioli in support. He uses him. Rioli goes into the pocket. That's a really well weighted ball. Oh, Cumberland has absolutely dropped the lollies. He's dropped the put. It's gone off his chest and out for a throw in inside forward 50. And Pickett is it. In fact, it's Rioli down in back play after he was caught by Coleman. It might be his knee, is it? He was tackled to ground. His knee seemed to buckle under him, and let's hope he's okay, Rioli.
For St John of God, boundary throw, that's Morris Rioli. Double palm down, Nankervis, but the roving by Mitch Robinson from Brisbane. High kick to the wing, floating ball. No mark taken. The ball to the front of the pack. Pickett taken in the tackle of Danaher and then dumped to ground. And the umpire says, give it to me. And that will almost take us to quarter time. 14 seconds left on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. I reckon Brisbane might be happy to get out with a 6-point deficit. Tapped down, McStay doing the ruck work. It was won by Nankervis. Neil tried to give a handball off. He'll give another one here to Rich. Rich jams it on the boot towards forward 50. Tigers have parked one back, including Boston. There's going to be a free kick. And after the siren, I suspect a shot at goal coming. And it's in the hands of Hipwood. And the distance won't be an issue. So his teammates were telling him to have a shot anyway, but the siren has sounded, so that will make that a fait accompli in terms of having a shot.
That was poor from the Tiger defence. They had a 2-on-1, and I didn't see what was the free kick for.
I think Vlauston might have given it for a potential. Oh, actually, not Vlauston. Vlauston at the front was who was behind. Actually, no, it was Vlauston who gave the free kick. That confirmed. So Eric Hipwood's kicked one already from tight in the right forward pocket. This to level the scores at 27 apiece and not be a bad result. So he's going to come out on a little bit of a curve. He'll start right of his mark and come back and look to kick from on his mark and hook the ball back. Man on the mark, 49 from goal. Hipwood will kick from 52. Got a good piece of it. Might have pulled it too far. No, he hasn't. He's kicked his second after the siren, and we are all tied up at 27 apiece. Brisbane 4-3, Richmond 4-3, and what a very entertaining opening quarter of AFL Finals 2022. If this is what we're going to get served up through September, strap yourselves in. The issue, though, is for the Lions that Oscar McInerney has been subbed out of the game with a concussion. So that not only has ramifications for tonight, that will have ramifications for next week if the Lions are to advance. And I suspect right now Darcy Ford is probably thinking he's playing a final for Brisbane next week if they are to get through. We'll take a break. Opening turn, thanks to Harvey Norman. 4-3, 27 apiece. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Win a Weber barbecue at APCO Cafe 24/7. Live, breathe, Carrot Footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. Get a lift home with Herbie and Josh. Herbie and Josh.
She's back. Hello, Herbie.
Guess who's back? Herbie's back.
Oh.
Regret that?
Yeah, good on you.
Jesus.
But you know when you've got those moments in life where you're like, geez, I'm glad I'm not that person.
You ever feel that with me?
That's why I like working with you.
Herbie and Josh. Weekdays from 4 p.m. Only on K-Rock 955. 2 brand new Mimosa Homes displays now open in Austin Lara at mimosahomes.com.au.
What does your future look like? Think about your home, your family, your travels and things you enjoy. With good planning and Edge Advisory Partners, your future's looking up. Professional financial planning and advice across Geelong and surrounds by locals like you. Wherever you're at in life, Edge Advisory Partners can help. From your first home or investment to retirement planning and ensuring your wealth.
We're the team partnering with you to make smart money choices.
Edge Advisory Partners. Book an obligation-free appointment today. edgeap.com.au.
Hamlin Homes, proudly Geelong's largest locally owned and operated builder, distinctively familiar with the region's lifestyles, landscapes and suppliers. Distinctive in history, having served the local area since 1983. Distinctive in our ongoing commitment to the local community. Distinctive in design, taking inspiration from the local environment to create beautifully unique homes that reflect our clients' aspirations. Hamlin Homes, distinctively local. Hamlin.com.au.
It's footy finals fever at APCO Cafe 24/7. To celebrate, get into APCO for your chance to win one of 5 Weber barbecues, plus a footy finals prize pack, including a slab of Pepsi Max Lemon, 24 4 and 20 pies, and 12 packs of Smith's chips. Just buy a specially marked 4 and 20 Pepsi, Schweppes or Smith's product to enter. So get footy finals fever and win a Weber at APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
T's and C's apply.
Searching for Geelong's biggest bargains underfoot? See Harvey Norman Flooring now. Whatever you want to walk on, hybrid and timber flooring, laminates, carpets and a wide selection of rugs, there's so much choice and styles to suit every home and budget. And Harvey Norman's team of flooring experts will help you every step of the way. Great service, a great price and the right advice. Harvey Norman, your flooring experts. Easy parking at 2 locations, Princess Highway, Corio and Warren Ponds.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Starcevic gives to Zorko. Might be his first touch. The skipper goes wide. Lovely ball. And he's got Archie again lurking inside the forward pocket. And Hardwick is not happy, Nildy. And Cochin wants to play on. Runs to 50. Locks and loads on a long bomb. And Cochin has kicked a goal. Only 4 on the year coming in. Make that number 5.
An entertaining opening quarter of footy from the Gabba. It's K-Rock football thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Win a Weber barbecue at APCO Cafe 24/7. Benny, Kurz High, some of the key numbers, please, from that opening quarter.
Yeah, pretty even, Kingy, really, in a lot of the key statistical areas. Tigers had 4 more inside 50s. Tackle count was down for both sides, really. It was a bit free-flowing at times. 12 tackles to Brisbane's 10. Contested possession, really nothing in that, +2 to the Lions. The only stat where there is a real disparity is marks, 27 to Richmond, 13 to the Brisbane Lions. The Lions had 6 more disposals. Individually, Neil had 10 and 5 clearances. Starcevic really good in the back half. He had 8. And McCluggage, the other one, 8 kick to goal, helps set up a couple as well. Mitch Robinson's been involved. Hasn't always been polished, but certainly been around the ball. Zach Bailey's found a little bit of it with 6 touches for the Tigers. Pickett's had 7. Vlauston's 7 across half-back. Has given away a couple of frees, though, which cost 2 goals to playing. I'm not sure he's playing on Hipwood, but both free kicks were against Hipwood, who was able to convert. Sonsi, the mattress, had 7. Ross, 7. Short, 6. Rioli had 6. So really nothing in those stats for Kerrs Hire, Kingy, which is reflected on the scoreboard, which says 27 apiece.
Thank you for that, Benny. Good work by you. Kerrs Hire, 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong. Neildy's here for Multi-Skills. Unleash your potential with construction industry training at Multi-Skills. Check out multiskills.com.au. Neildy, what do we take away from that opening quarter of Krock football?
Well, I think if you're Brisbane, Kingy, you'd be really happy because I think Richmond looked to be the better team, but we look up, the scores are level, and Ben just went through the numbers, and they're fairly even. Losing McInerney, big blow to them, so they have to restructure their forward line to go with only the 2 marking players, and when one of them's off, they've only got 1, so completely different. I thought they did really well. Hipwood good with those 2 goals, but good pressure from both teams.
We've just seen on the screen Oscar McInerney, whose nose has been, well, there's a modelling career gone for St John of God, unfortunately. Hopefully he's okay, but he's got a couple of wads of cotton straight up the nostrils trying to stem the bleeding after that head knock. Second quarter for Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's won 2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years. Here's Benny.
Well, Presti had a little fumble there, an opportunity. Robertson took it for the Lions. McStay to Neil, got it back to Robertson. Look out, he was tackled. Was their prior opportunity? Ball spills out. No umpire has called it and said, give it to me, he'll throw it up. Still smack bang in the middle of the Gabba.
Brisbane going with McStay as the preferred ruckman to leave both Danaher and Hipwood at home inside the forward 50.
Well, he won that down, McStay to Neil, who kicks it forward. Ball on the paint. Baker was tackled by McCarthy. Vlauston's there. Good hand pass to the voice of Daniel Rioli. His hand pass not so good. Now Curvis forced to work. Matheson, McStay, low down to centre half forward. Is a good kick onto the chest of Bailey.
Zach Bailey sees something he likes into the pocket, but wonderfully weighted kick. Just got overhead of Baker, and Charlie Cameron is marked in the right forward pocket. I thought Baker had made enough ground to get a piece of it, but he just got it over the top. And Charlie Cameron a chance to give the Lions back the lead and 3 consecutive goals either side of quarter time.
Outstanding kick inside 50, King, as you called it. Just Charlie Cameron so good on a lead. That space was left open for him, and he zigged and he zagged, and he eventually got there.
47 goals for the season, squeezed out of the All-Australian forward pocket by a bloke called Stengel, and he's missed that one, has he? That's a disappointing finish from Charlie Cameron. 4-4-28 Brisbane. Richmond 4-3-27 as he pushed the kick to the right. And that is a 1-point Brisbane lead in this second quarter of Krock football. That on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock has gone 1 minute 35.
Yeah, you just get the feeling Brisbane are going to have to make the most of all those opportunities. Down, obviously, Rayner and Lyons coming in, then losing McInerney, almost irreplaceable. Richmond pump it to the wing. Oh, good mark by Nan Curvis, just completely outmarked McStay. Wants to play on quickly on the left. Goes with a big high rain, make it a half forward in the direction of Martin. Great work by Martin, trying to hand pass to Rioli, who just couldn't get a handle on it. And the ball has gone out for a throw-in 60 around from Richmond's goal.
If they're going to go long down the line, Richmond, and it's going to be one-on-one McStay, Nan Curvis, someone from Brisbane needs to get across and crash that pair, be third in to spill the footy.
Boundary throw-in left half forward, or rather right half forward, I should say, for the Tigers. Handball from Nankervis. Bolton overran the footy, left it behind McCluggage. Wonderful pick up under pressure from Nankervis. Pulled a kick towards half back, fist away Vlauston. Front of the pack, Prestia dragged off his kick by by Robertson, I should say. That's Devon. He's got a chance now to get rid of the footy, but he's been chicken winged. That's holding the ball and will be paid. So a free kick at right half forward for the Tigers will go to Sonsi, who's been very impressive.
Yeah, possession 8 for the mattress.
Tyler Sonsi playing game number 7, picked 28 in last year's draft. Kick to the right forward pocket, wanting Cumberland. Bolton, wonderful roving, tried to shrug the tackle. Left foot snap, high ball is a goal. Lambie's Tavern, goal of the night contender from Shy Bolton. Would you expect anything less than something quality from the number 29 from Richmond? and they're back in front by 5. So a missed opportunity. Charlie Cameron at one end. Bolton makes the most of his at the other. 5-3-33. 4-4-28 second quarter. K-Rock football thanks to Geelong Bank and their 1-2 home loan. 1% less for 2 years. Check out geelongbank.com.au.
It's a good summary of the first 2.5 minutes of the second quarter, Kingy. So Charlie Cameron, really good lead. That was, in his standards, quite a simple shot for goal. And he missed it, goes down the other end. And Bolton really makes something out of nothing. He's just so quick and agile. The previous contest, he actually left the footy behind. Not so then. One grabbed the ball and got right close to goal. Yeah, terrific goal.
Stay was disappointing there. He got back to be loose in the back half. The ball came in the air. He had no opponent and he ran under the ball in the air, and that's how it got out the back to Bolton. So back in the middle, McStay having another crack in the ruck, completely outpointed by Nankervis, who handled it straight to McCluggage. So Neil, look at that work in traffic, was brilliant. Gave it back to Rich. Rich tried the barrel to half forward. McCarthy, was he held? He tries to track it. Rioli again on the left. Daniel Rioli. Ball in the middle. Good mark, Starwin. It wasn't a mark by Starcevic. He fumbled it at the inopportune time. McStay. Good clean pick up by Wilmot, who showed a bit. He goes with a real high rainmaker. It'll land 20 out. Hipwood's there. Can't mark. Ball won't stay in the field to play off the shins of McCarthy. But good work by Wilmot, who's showing a little bit for the Brisbane Lions. He's touched it 7 times, Darcy Wilmot, playing his first game of AFL football, 18 years of age, from Hazel Glen College. I have absolutely no idea where that is. Originally from Montmorency through the Northern Under-18s.
Yeah, boundary throw in. And it's from there, we're going to see it in the hands of Sonzi, who's been really good. I think McCarthy in back play a little bit sore for St John of God. Off the hands of the pack, Revolt too slow, dragged down by Wilmot. Handball turnover, McStay's kick was poor. Oh, sorry, it was Pryor whose kick was poor. Chance now for Sonzi again. Kick back inboard on the bounce. Knocked forward by Baker. Pryor will attack it. Did okay. Handball on the up. Chance now. Sorry, Payne. Now chance for Devon Robertson. Kick towards the wing. A one-on-one. McStay couldn't complete the mark. Handball on the up. Matheson was okay, but then taken to the boundary line. Hipwood out of bounds and told all about it by Daniel Rioli. And now push and shove ensures. Umpire comes in, separates the pair, and we'll get a boundary throw in. 33 playing 28. It's the Tigers leading the Lions in this second elimination final, the opening of the 2022 Toyota AFL Final Series.
So the Tigers by 5, throw in, right on the wing. Out the back, Nankervis beaten by McStay. Good hand pass this time to Berry. Runs 15, puts a long ball inside forward 50. Cameron should get back. Oh, well done, Broad. Cameron dangerous at ground level. Cameron round the corner has kicked the Lambie's Tavern. Goal of the night. Missed one earlier, but made amends there with a far more difficult shot. Great stuff, Charlie Cameron. His team leads by a point. And this game unfolding into a ripper at the Gabba. First final, 5-4-34 the Lions, 5-3-33 the Tigers. And this second quarter, thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
It's fantastic finals footy at the moment. 2 small forwards, electric, really good ball use and so quick. Charlie Cameron at one end and Bolton at the other end for the Tigers. I hope that the teammates at Brisbane of Dan McStay saw that effort in the ruck. That was fantastic. It was strength. We've been calling for it, Kingy. That time he stood up and was strong, got back on the ball first. He cleared that footy himself. He got it to Berry and then the Cameron great goal.
Mark Neal for Multiskills. Check out multiskills.com.au. Umpire Mollison puts it into the turf. McStay, Nankervis at 225s. Nankervis grabbed it, fired a handball, but it's going to spill. Quick kick inside, forward 50 for the Lions. Wasn't great. Coming in from Zorko after he received from Bailey.
Been quiet, Zorko. Just his 4th touch.
They're on the outer wing. McIntosh, a handball. Daniel Rioli next to the interchange gates. Sends it towards right half forward for the Tigers. Uncontested, but no mark taken there. Socket forward by Lynch. Rolling ball. Daniel Rich fumbled. Oh, they were taken high. A little bit indiscriminate there from Morris Rioli Jr., who seems to be okay after an earlier issue for St John of God. Here's Rich across the face of goal. Right back pocket. Chance now for the Lions. The kick's got to be on point, and it wasn't as it came in from Payne. Rioli Morris got a hand in and knocked it away to his own advantage. Now he wants to take on Pryor. Kick inside forward 50 on the bounce. Tom Lynch fired a handball outside 50 back towards Revolt. He couldn't take it. Morris Rioli on the bounce, short, shrugged the shoulders and arched the back. Swung onto his left boot. 30 from goal. 2 lines there. Neither could mark. One of them was Matheson, the other Devon Robertson. Robertson did okay. A handball out on the bounce. Gardner, quick release back to the voice. Chance now to clear towards half back, and the kick was good. Coming from Payne, and McCarthy with sticky mitts takes it at right half back.
First touch from McCarthy. It's taking him 8 minutes into the second term. Coleman through the middle, handballs to Zorko. He's been quiet. Wants to move it quickly to Rich. Look out. Handballs over the top. Danaher, he was well tackled by Tarrant. Coming through with Zorko again. Went off the ground, but Richmond have got numbers. McIntosh gives to Baker. And Baker goes with this lateral ball. And he's got Marley and Pickett who'll go over the top. And they might have jarred one loose here, the Tigers.
Just showed a lack of composure there, the Lions. A chance now, near side wing, short, a bounce, and then kick on the outside of the right boot. Cochin's mark, 65 from goal, lowered the vision and put it beautifully onto the chest of Lynch, who slides in and takes the mark. So after going through the middle of the Gabba, and really should have scored out of that, the Lions, they had control of the footy, but they were probably a little bit too frenetic in their use of the ball, Neildy. And in the end, they've turned it over, and at the other end, Tom Lynch a chance to get the margin back in the favour of Richmond.
Probably two disappointing things, Kingy. One was Daniel Rich. He called for the footy running past and then ran into a brick wall. You need to look up. If you're going to call for the footy, you've got to know where you're running.
Tom Lynch, 444 career goals, 445 career goals for the former Sun. They lead again by 5, 6-3-39 in this arm wrestle at the Gabba. Brisbane at 5-4-34. Second quarter of K-Rock football thanks to Geelong Bank and their 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
The second thing in that passage of play I think let Brisbane down was the manner in which Cochin could get the ball. When he went to kick inside 50, it was so open. Lynch just led directly at him. There were not enough Brisbane mids or halfbacks that had made their way back to get in the leading lanes. That's old-fashioned footy. That was really simple. Harris Andrews couldn't do anything about that.
So seesawing game at this stage. There's Zorko handballing it to Lynch, to Rich. So it should have been a 50, you reckon, Newdy?
No, what I mean there was when Rich got that footy, he called for the ball. He had his eyes on the ground. He should have seen what he was running into. He wouldn't have called for it. Richmond defend by coming forward. It was always going to be a turnover.
Back in the middle. McStay doesn't actually even compete in the ruck, and Neil wins it at ground level. Just tackled as he kicked. Ball bounces to half forward. Well done by Bolter. Kept his feet. Goes wide, and that's good for Ross. Ross over the top. He's got Bolton. He'll mark in stride. Brisbane trying to get numbers back. Bolton directs traffic. Uses a man, then tries to sell some candy. He's gone. He tried to get round Bailey with some fancy dancing. Bailey was onto it. Now he wants to move it forward for the Lions. He goes down the line. He wants Archie. Got 2 to beat. Can't do so. Bolter. He's kicked back inside. Wasn't great, but good enough for Vlauston. Just danced around Danaher, if you don't mind, and then goes wide, and Richmond are away with Short.
Short with a left-hand bounce, and now he'll kick on his right boot. Inside 50. Wonderful ball again. Onto the chest of Cumberland, who kicked 5 last time these two teams met. He marks 40 from goal, right of centre. Angle not as acute as 45 degrees, but nudging into that range. And a chance here for a handy 11-point buffer. Once again, a turnover. Just a kick for Callum Archie did him absolutely no favours from Bailey. It was all good taking the advantage, but you've got to hit a target on the way out. Noah Cumberland with a unique approach to goal, gets a little bit side on Zach Tui style. Now he drills it, and he's faded that badly. And in fact, it's been held through for a minor score. He didn't get a carry, and Andrews was happy to knock it through for a point from the Lions for the Tigers, and the margin is a goal at 6-4-40, playing 5-4-34. Second quarter of K-Rock football on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock has gone 12 minutes.
Kicking duties. Gets on the left. Pulls the kick, goes long, even in the direction of Danaher, who'll win the free kick for being held. Did well there, Danaher. Worked hard to get front position. And at his size, he's difficult to displace when he plays in front. So he's at half back, though, Danaher. So he kicks it down the line. Huge pack forms, and in the middle of it is Hipwood, who's done some damage already. Kick 2, Hipwood. 3 kicks, 2 goals, and he marks 70 from home. Goes into the pocket, needs a mark from Archie. Cameron, ground level, dangerous. Can he break the tackle? He can. His kicking board was a howler. Fumbled over by Miller. Miller then is tackled by Zorko. Umpire says, no prior opportunity, give it to me. I will throw it up 43.5 metres out from Brisbane's goal.
For multi-skills, Neildy, can you be too unselfish?
On that occasion, yes. I think no one would have said anything nasty if Charlie Cameron had just had a shot for goal.
From the ball up, it's off hands. Both Neil and Robinson conspire to see it out, and we'll get a boundary throw-in. Lions in attack. No Oscar McInerney, subbed out of the game early after a head clash. His head ricocheted into the back of a Tiger, and as a result, he's out for St John of God with concussion and won't play next week if the Lions advance. Kick to the wing, short outside of the right boot was a good one. Martin outpointed Rich in a one-on-one. True centre wing, out of side. Dusty, just a little kick over the top, was well weighted and found a marking target in Ross. Ross wants to come back in board, but showed too much of it to Matheson, who got a fist on it, knocked it forward 25 metres and towards the boundary line, although it's going to come back. I think he might have caught one high, Matheson. He did from McIntosh. So he's not only done well to get a fist on it, but he's won a free kick for his team, Reece Matheson. He does some things that make you scratch your head, but he also does some things that the team absolutely admire.
So Matheson, former Falcon, to half forward. Hipwood, front position, couldn't mark. Ground level numbers with Richmond. Ross was spun 360 and then spun out of that tackle. Gave it to the meatball Prestia. The big meatball spag bowl sauce down the line. Can he get a mark from Rewald? He can't. Will it stay in the field of play? It does. Martin's always dangerous. Look at that kick. Lynch couldn't mark though, falling to ground. Rioli want to pick up one-handed. Handballs back to Dusty. Dusty through traffic outside of the right shoe. Kick not great. Getting back lines in numbers, and Neil for possession number 16, if you don't mind. It's going to be a 50 against Lynch. The big fella just sorted into the line of Neil and was completely unawares. And that'll help the Tigers out, because Brisbane out, I should say, because the man on the mark, Rioli's now marched to the middle of the Gabba.
Neil pulls a kick towards left half forward, saw something he liked in juggling next stage. He made something very simple very difficult in the end, but he took the mark. He's 65, make it 55 from home now. Driving ball for Hipwood is an absolute cracker. So somehow Brisbane were able to jar Hipwood free, despite the fact that McStay juggled the mark, took away a little bit of the momentum nearly for multi-skills, but the delivery from McStay was elite.
It certainly was, Kingy. Again, a leading lane open for a big key forward. I know it's wide, but there were a couple of Richmond mids in the vicinity. You thought, yeah, maybe could have just jumped in the road there.
This time he's in the left forward pocket, so not suiting the left boot of Eric Hipwood. 2 goals in the opening term. Would love one here to lock the scores up again. Down on the mark, 25 from goal. He's about 8 metres in from the left forward pocket boundary, and he shanked that, and he's just snuck it in from behind to his near side, and the margin is 5. So on the Krock second quarter Geelong Bank scoreboard, it's Brisbane 5-5-35, trailing Richmond 6-4-40. And the Port Phillip Ferries time clock has gone past 16 minutes.
So Vlawson with kicking duties, runs 15, and then half shanks the kick, and he's shanked it straight to Berry. Can he find someone lurking inside forward 50, Berry? He puts the ball inside that vicinity. Hipwood, I've copped a poke in the eye. He actually didn't even fly in the end. And it was all Richmond. They were able to fist it out for a throw-in deep in the left forward pocket. Brisbane trail by 5. Damien Hardwick pacing the box. Cat on the old sort of hot tin roof arrangement. Throw in there. Curvis just took it out of the ruck and then kicked it to the wing. All came off the shins of a Tiger. Might have been Cumberland. Ross was taken high. Now Baker. Look at that fancy dancing. No, it's going to come back. I think it is high. It's going to be a free kick to Richmond. And oh, no.
No, well, he's paid the advantage. He said he took the advantage, and now it's a holding the ball, and then it's a 50-metre penalty.
Well, that's an extraordinary set of circumstances, isn't it?
It has seemed particularly odd, Ben. There, again, we're miles away. We can't hear I don't think Dimmer's all that happy with what's just happened. So free kick paid. No one knew except the umpire.
And the other thing too, I just noticed in that passage you play there, is I don't think you need to have done a 4-year course in lip reading to work out what Damien Hardwick just said there.
My biggest concern when I saw that on the K-Rock screen there was that you were going to say what he said.
So it's Darcy Wilmot on debut in a final to give his team the lead, and he has, and they'll go to him. He gives them a single cobra, and they jump all over him. 8, 9, 10, 11 of them come to Darcy Wilmot. In the end, they come from everywhere. So the debutant, Darcy Wilmot, with a goal on debut, and his team leads by a point. They will not go away, the Lions. Down Oscar McInerney, and he's telling the crowd to get into it. He's clapping his teammate Harris Andrews coming onto the ground. His little pat on the head. How good's that to see the kid who, as we heard earlier, just snuck in to the draft, December 31 born at night, and he gets himself drafted last year and playing in a final.
He's pretty happy, isn't he? That is really good to see. He's extremely excited, young fella. It's like, who was it? Charlie Bucket, who won the golden ticket. And there we go again. We're just seeing Damien Hardwick just commentating on that free kick.
So
it was a bit messy.
Kerr's higher. He's had 8 touches. Wilmot kicked a goal and a couple of tackles, and he celebrated there like he just had the 5th golden ticket into the factory there, the sort of Willy Wonka arrangement. Grandpa Joe, I think he'll be taking him up on that.
Look, he's still going.
Look at the smile.
I don't think he's going to come back on.
He's just asked Lockie Neal for a selfie too.
We're back in the middle. Dev Robertson overran the footy. Chance here for Zorko. Jams the Lions into forward 50. Through the hands it goes, and out the back to Bailey. Bailey will stroll into an open goal, and the Lions now lead by 7. So consecutive goals here for Brisbane. A little bit of momentum with the home team. They're 7-5-47, 6-4-40. Hipwood couldn't mark, but Bailey pounced. And they're on top of the ground at the moment of the Lions in this second quarter, thanks to Geelong Bank. Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
It's probably the second goal they've got out of the middle since McInerney has gone off the ground with concussion. That's so hard to do, to adjust. That they are playing with a second tier, second string ruckman for the entire night. Great work by the Brisbane Lions players in the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
Terrific clearance.
Kerr's high, Neildy. This quarter, 7-3 the clearances in favour of the Lions. 12-6 the inside 50s. They've had one less disposal. Tackles 9-8, so they're really getting on top in terms of those clearances. They've doubled the clearances. They've kicked 2 goals from their clearances, and the Tigers are yet to score from any clearance.
All those stats thanks to Kerr's Hire, 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong. It's hacked out of mid-air by Prestia inside 50 and fortuitously onto the chest of Revolt, who marks 49 out from goal, and you could just feel the pin go into the bubble at the Gabba, Neildy. Now Revolt, as he went to take off, has dropped the footy, so he'll go back behind his mark and do it all again.
Yeah, that's hard to defend against. I suppose some people would say could have been a little bit closer, but just really an errant kick out of mid-air. Lands goes straight to the forward.
He hit a flush too, Prestia.
He did.
Revolt just for a settler for the Tigers. Playing game 326. He's pulled it to the left, trying to work it back, and he has. Wonderful kick from Revolt, and he likes it too. The veteran forward, the one-time lead singer of the Killers. 7-4-46 Richmond. Brisbane 7-5-47, and just when you thought the Lions had some momentum, the Tigers put a halt to it and get back to within 1 point in this second term of K-Rock football.
Just a terrific game of footy. It literally is goal for goal. It's really tight. It's tight in the contest. All those things we talked about. Both sides are trying to use the middle of the ground to attack when they can. It's just a really enjoyable game of footy.
It is, Neildy. 1 point the difference. And the stat sheet really just split right down the middle. Inside 50s, 27-26. Tackles 20-19. Disposals only 3 in that. And uncontested possessions basically locked together as well. So we're locked together on the scoreboard pretty much. 47 playing 46. All out of the middle. Devon Robertson took it. Then he had a hand pass that went nowhere. Cochin. Handball's wildly taken by Starcevic, who's been good. He goes out the back. Pryor had a little fumble. Coleman there to mop up the mess. Was he taken high? Hands and knees. He was. He's going to get a free kick. Little unlucky was Cumberland. I think it might have been who infringed. He was going the ball and inadvertently copped Coleman high, and now Coleman just forced into a slower play at half-back.
Coleman short and coming up and marking and stretching is the skipper Zorko.
He's got involved a bit this quarter. Zorko had a quiet first term.
So obviously some Melbourne supporters there because they're booing him. Kick towards the wing and dropping an absolute sitter was Pryor, and they've turned it over. Presti, a kick inside forward 50. Andrews and Lynch both went to ground. Gardner cleaned up nicely, but his left foot kick was stolen, and strolling into an open goal with the left boot and finishing nicely was Cumberland. So after giving away a free kick at left half back, Darcy Gardner with another errant piece of play has been made to pay by the Tigers, and they're back in front by 5. So after trailing by 7, they lead by 5 in the blink of an eye. 8-4-52. Brisbane 7-5-47 in this second quarter. Thanks to Geelong Bank. Thanks to Vivian and the team for joining us on K-Rock Football. Check out geelongbank.com.au.
Darcy Gardner's doing a good job defensively. He's got Dustin Martin. When Dustin Martin goes forward, he's been forward most of the evening. He's just made a couple of skill errors. Look, that's pretty hard to do by Cumberland, when to go to smother the footy and actually grab it in two hands and take off. But it wasn't the best left foot kick you've ever seen, and he will know that more than anybody else. But he's playing well defensively. Just that's not all that.
No penetration in the kick.
Well, he should have handballed for starters. Cumberland was committed to the smother. Just dance around him. Have some awareness. That was absolutely horrible from Gardner.
Well, they're in strife here.
They are. Richmond are starting to surge now. Brilliant work from Prestia. Handballs wide at Miss Bolton, who'll go back and track it. McCluggage tracks him. Bolton's got the wheels, though. Pulls the kick on the left. Martin's there. So too Cumberland, the goal kicker, who evades the Gardner tackle. He's not having a great night, Gardner. And finally, they're locked up, though, inside forward 50. And there'll be a throw-up 40 metres out from Richmond's goal. They've got 8. Brisbane have 7, margin 5.
Dan Curvis won the tap down. Now we fist it into the corridor about 20 from goal, but chance here for the Lions to clear. Thrown on the boot there by Pryor, but on the way out, it's taken, and now the Tigers through Daniel Rioli outside of the right boot. Finds a teammate. It's Ross, who runs to 45 unchecked and kicks a goal. And that was all a little bit too simple. So just when you thought the Lions had the momentum, the Tigers have dragged it back and then some. 9-4-58, playing 7-5-47 in this second quarter of K-Rock football for Geelong Bank. And it is 3 consecutive goals now for the Tigers to take an 11-point buffer with still 4:57 to play in the second quarter. She's going to be a high-scoring old final, Muldy, based on the way we're going at the moment.
Yeah, both teams attacking Kingy. A really good play again. Daniel Rioli, I think he's had a good night. He's been terrific off half-back. That was a kick outside the boot. He was running towards the behind post, but he actually got the ball into the middle of the ground. And Jack Ross, he was surprised as anybody to mark on the 50 and then find himself in absolute space. And as soon as he did, he took off. Another great shot for goal.
If you get the feeling if a team's going to break this game open, it's only going to be Richmond.
At the moment, absolutely, King.
So back in the middle, McStay up too early. Nankervis just took it out of the ruck and then gave it to Ross, the goal kicker. He goes to Pickett. Sold some wonderful candy. And then his kick was smothered by Berry. Ball bobbling dangerously inside forward 50. Bailey goes back. Tigers one holding the ball. Umpire says, give it to me. Wow. Bit of theatre there from umpire 23.
Robert Finlay.
Yeah, well, he's lucky because he's just caught one in between the legs.
Starcevic has got one, a twig and berries type knock.
He's very lucky because he took him on and tried to...
Umpire's gone down in back play. Left foot kick. Sonzi open goal square. Bouncing ball. Andrews able to palm it through. Margin is 12. They are coming with a real rush here, the Tigers. 9-5-59. Play 7-5-47. Port Phillip Ferries time clock. We've gone 26.5 minutes. 26.5 minutes. Port Phillip Ferries, there's no better way to travel.
Yeah, really important 4.5 minutes here for both sides. Brisbane can ill afford to concede more goals. They'd love to pinch one back. Rich goes long. Up went Danaher. He couldn't mark. McCarthy's been quiet. Berry tracks the ball and then handballs to Neil. Neil hurriedly round the corner towards half forward. Will it stay in the field of play? It came up to meet it. And can't control it though, and the ball goes out in front of Brisbane's interchange, which seats Oscar McInerney. Unfortunately for the Lions, was out early. Went for a spoil and a head clash. He was in all sorts of trouble. It's a huge blow for the Lions. Their 204 centimetre, 110 kilo ruckman out. And McStay's had to fill the void up against Nankervis. Nankervis wins again. Off hands though, Neil tried to slap it. Bolton did well. Hand pass to Baker was a ripper. Baker on the outside of the right shoe. Inside forward 50. Martin's there. Payne, ground level though, took it. Gave to Andrews. Andrews with a high ball. They sit under it all. Bolton nearly leaped over the top of a Brisbane opponent, took a mark, couldn't do so. Matheson, his hand pass to McStay, to Neil, to Bailey. This looks better from the Lions.
Link McCarthy with a high kick inside forward 50. Advantage of Hipwood. Knocked away Bolter. Cameron ready to pounce. Beautiful tap into the path of Hipwood. Will he have the ability to run away and goal? He will. Bolter nearly dragged him down. But the wonderful heads-up play of Charlie Cameron. As we've got an injury issue for the Tigers, Noah Cumberland's going down into the rooms. Doesn't seem to be a big concern, but we'll keep an eye on that for St John of God. But Charlie Cameron with the forethought that Hipwood would have the agility maybe to outlast Bolter. In the end he did. And talk about much needed. They're back within 6 points. Hipwood's now got 3, but Charlie Cameron, he doesn't have to do it kicking goals. He can do it any other way, Neody, for multi-skills.
Oh, just brilliant awareness. He's very quick. Got the footy over the back, as you called it, Kingy. That time, Brisbane played their half-forwards high up the ground, and they used the extra numbers to handball the footy through. So when McCarthy kicked that ball, there were one-on-ones inside 50 with heaps of space. But that's just brilliant from Charlie Cameron to whack that ball over his back. Good effort by Bolter to try and get the road to Hipwood, but 3 goals for a key forward in the first half of the final. Good return so far.
Yeah, he's actually looked dangerous too. Hipwood a couple of times in the air. Danaher's had to work right up the field for his handful of possessions. Richmond will go forward though off the boot of Prestia. Got it up to Riewoldt, who tried to slap it to Rioli. Riewoldt comes for a second effort. Then Rioli was pushed off the pill. Wilmot over it, the goal kicker. And Riewoldt sits over the top of him, and the umpire says, I'll throw it up just on the paint of 50. 3 minutes till half-time. Margin is 6. The visitors lead.
Nankervis, the tap down. Cochin, handball release inside forward 50. Attacked by Wilmot. And then he lost it in the tackle of Sonzi. And then found it again and handballed to Neil. Neil out the side door. A chance here to straighten up and kick towards the wing back with McCarthy. One-handed, wonderful. Took the mark. Hamlin hanger contender. But his kick inside 50. Okay in the end on the bounce. Bailey. And Bailey had a couple of options. He burnt them. And fortuitously in the end, actually, he didn't score. The kick on the bounce missed everything. And he'll get a stoppage in the left forward pocket. Even he's shaking his head at maybe his lack of awareness of what was going on around him.
I don't mind him having a shot. He's a clinical finisher, Bailey. He didn't get that right, but
he was probably caught in two minds.
He's generally a very, very good finisher, so if you want someone to have a crack, he's one I'd certainly be backing in to have a crack. McStay won it out of the ruck and then couldn't release it. He finally did though, but it was taken by the Mattress Sonsi. That's possession number 13, if you don't mind. It's a wide ball though, just stays in the field of play and then bounces out as a U-turn, a bit of Murley sort of Durley style. And it's a throw. What are you laughing at? His balls used to spin a bit, didn't they? Significantly so.
From the boundary throwing. Good tackle there by Zorko. Forced to spillage and he'll pick up the loose ball. Gave it to Berry. Back to Zorko. Got a good block from Berry that allowed him to kick inside forward 50. Daniel Rioli dumped by Hipwood. Matheson handball. Didn't get to where it was intended. And there was a free kick paid against Hipwood. And there's a Tiger down, Daniel Rioli, who'll slowly get to his feet. He went to actually help Daniel Rioli up and Marlon Pickett just went and gave him a shove. Was there much wrong with the tackle? Maybe because he didn't have the ability to protect himself. And Heads actually hit the ground. He's grabbed at it, Daniel Rioli. So I suspect the medical staff will have a look at that from Richmond just to give that the all clear. But Daniel Rioli's got it in the right back pocket. With 2 minutes to play on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock and an entertaining first half at the Gabba.
So Rioli down the line. Ball gets out the back. This could be dangerous for Brisbane. Lynch tried to slap it to Bolton, but it was taken by Rich. Rich's high kick is very handsome. Unfortunately, not that handsome. It's gone out in the full for a free kick to Broad. So, minute 43 to half time. A really free-flowing type final. 25 tackles apiece for both sides there in this first half. Kick down the line is fisted back out by Andrews, who we talked about pre-game as having a season that has been just. I think he's been pretty good tonight Neody Lynch has just taken the 2 marks, kicked the 1 goal, and Andrews, I should say, has taken some nice marks and got involved.
He's been very good.
Boundary throw in, true centre wing, outer side of the Gabba McStay front position. Got a hand on it, but only as far as Nankervis doing the unlikely roving. Handball into space. Neil will track it to the boundary line over his right shoulder. A left-hand handball. It's going to end up with Matheson, who kicks on the outside of the right boot. That's a smart kick. Bring it back into play. Bailey couldn't mark. Wonderful pick up short. Handball on the up. Daniel Rioli in a 1-2 with Tarrant. Although one of them fumbled and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. And as a result, it's a chance for the Lions from a stoppage at left half forward.
Tarrant lucky there, Kingy. The insufficient intent. He just flicked that straight towards the boundary line.
Player in the vicinity might have helped him out there.
Yeah, lucky.
Ball back into play. Tap down Nankervis, front of the pack. Not able to rove it cleanly was McCluggage. Dumped in a tackle. Is that Charlie Cameron underneath all that? Umpire says, give it to me, I'll ball it up. So we're about 60 metres out from the Brisbane goal, and the medical sub has been activated for Richmond. Dion Prestia is out of the game. Shan Edwards is in. Not exactly sure why Dion Prestia is out, Benny, but we'll keep an eye on that. Pickett, boundary line, handball back, Broad, right back pocket, outside of the right boot. Can he keep it in the field of play? It will pitch just inside and go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in.
He's had quite a few soft tissue injuries. There's calves and hamstrings and the like. Prestia, including this season, he's played the 18 games, and I'm sure he missed a block there with, is it a hamstring or a calf? So we didn't see anything.
Hamstring is what the club is saying, Benny.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
No, not in the final series. No. If it's a 3-weeker, it's grand final. If it's a bad one, we'll wait and see what happens. Left half forward, Lions with it. McCarthy trying to get a kick forward, trying to knock it away. Bolter only knocked into the shin of Neil. It's going to spill for Rioli. Too slow was Ross and McCluggage. With still time.
20 seconds, Kingy.
52 from goal, sets it up, wanting a marking target. Hipwood fisted away from him. Front of the pack, Berry knocked it down. Oh, slick hand, Zorko. Neil with the snap, won't have the carry. Broad back with the flight marks and then bounces off the goal post. Gee, the slick hands of Zorko for Neil was something to behold. Deserved a better finish in the end and a tie going in at half-time, but Broad stands firm, sends it beyond defensive 50, and that will be half-time. Just as Zorko pulls the trigger on a kick that will actually just be ricocheted away from Tarrant off his shins in the goal square. It wouldn't have counted. I think the umpires would have heard the siren and indicated a stop to play before that kick was affected. So Prestia with a hamstring issue. No ice on it as we have a quick look for St John of God, so maybe more precautionary. He's actually jogging, Neildy, as he makes his way to the room, so if it was serious, you wouldn't be jogging. You'd be looking after that.
It's particularly odd, isn't it, to be told he's gone off with a hamstring injury and then he jogged to the bench.
Interesting.
He did look a little sore, though.
He did, I'd say.
9:5:59 at half-time, Richmond. Brisbane Lions, 8:5:53. Thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer, we're at half-time, and, well, we demolished some a little bit early. Nearly, you had the...
What did I have? The chicken stir-fry with chilies. Dave
and I both had the kimchi fried rice, which was outstanding, and Benny demolished a chicken katsu burger. So it is 25-9. They are open to 9 o'clock at Warn Pond. So if you're looking for a late feed, maybe get your Tijuana Brass down to Garmy Chicken and Beer in Warn Pond. So it's half-time. Thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer. We'll take a break from the Gabba. A 6-point Richmond lead thanks to Abco Cafe 24/7. Winner Weber Barbecue. The breed carrot footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, Abco. Fueled by Abco Cafe 24/7. It's finals time in Geelong's own GFL, and all the action is right here on Krock Football, live from your local ground. Tom King, Jason Doherty, Matt Kershaw and Jane Birch bring you the best local footy coverage in the country, right here in Geelong. Bring on the semi-finals. The Polders were impressive in seeing off St Joseph's in the elimination.
Brock Williamson with something special.
While the Tigers will need to dig deep to avoid a straight sets exit.
He did the evening two-step to the left for the Tigers' third.
Week 2 of the GFL Finals is live and on your radio. Krock Football presents the first semi-final. Colac versus Leopold from West Oval. 1v p.m. Sunday on K-Rock 955. Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Hello, it's Jamie and Erin from Warmbah Gully Plant Farm Geelong.
Dad, footy is on.
Okay, Erin, but I've got to tell everyone that just like a footy team, Warmbah Gully Plant Farm are here to go the extra mile. Stick to the plan, have fun, work together and give it our best shot so your garden can be the greatest garden of all.
Dad, you sound just like a coach.
Oh, thanks, Erin. Now, whose turn is it to do the dishes?
Not me. I'm still on the bench, Dad.
Right. So see you soon at Warmbah Gully Plant Farm.
201 Townsend Road, Moolah.
There's nothing like a 2-for-1 deal, except Geelong Bank's 1 for 2. Hear us out. Introducing the 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Yep, you heard that right. 1% discount on our reference rate for 2 whole years. You only need a 20% deposit and you'll also get $2,000 cash back.
Top of the ladder and Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan deal. Is there anything Geelong can't do?
With Geelong Bank, it's as easy as 1-2.
Australian Credit Licence 244351. Standard lending criteria applies. Full terms and conditions at geelongbank.com.au.
Warralilly is a place with a great community vibe we like to call the Warralilly way of life. It all started 10 years ago when we welcomed our first resident. In 2022, we've hit another amazing milestone. 10,000 people who call Warralilly home. To celebrate, we're giving you $10,000 towards your block so you can make your mark at Warralilly, Geelong's fastest growing community. Plus, there'll be free family events throughout spring. To find out more, visit warralilly.com.au. Conditions apply. What does your future look like? Think about your home, your family, your travels and things you enjoy. With good planning and Edge Advisory Partners, your future's looking up. Professional financial planning and advice across Geelong and surrounds by locals like you. Wherever you're at in life, Edge Advisory Partners can help. From your first home or investment to retirement planning and ensuring your wealth.
We're the team partnering with you to make smart money choices.
Edge Advisory Partners. Book an obligation-free appointment today. edgeap.com.au.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Half-time at the Gabba, and thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer, we are at half-time. Treat yourself to some half-time Garmy Chicken and Beer. Warn Ponds, we have treated ourselves here at K-Rock Football. It is the award-winning pioneer of Korean fried chicken, and it's now at Warn Ponds, and of course, delicious, crispy, crunchy chicken with great vibes, perfect to meet and catch up with all your crew. And the burgers, well, Benny can vouch for, they are delicious after he demolished the chicken katsu burger a little bit earlier this evening. Did you enjoy that, Benny?
It was extraordinary, Kingy. It was that burger, when I opened up the box, never seen a burger look as nervous. And I duly just absolutely demolished it.
Injury updates, 2 concerns, 1 each, Brisbane and Richmond.
Oscar McInerney out early, very early in the contest, went for him to spoil a ball. Unfortunately, his momentum forward, his head, his face hit the back of a head of a Richmond player in front of him, and he was in a lot of trouble instantly. You could just tell by his the way his body reacted on the ground immediately after that contest that he was in a lot of trouble. And then just before half, he was replaced by Archie, who did kick 1 goal too in that first term, playing up forward, Archie. So they've had to shuffle the deck a little bit. Brisbane, they've put McStay into the ruck, and they've put Archie, the Medisubber, up forward. For the Tigers, the injury for them was Prestia just before half-time. We didn't really see an incident. There didn't appear to be one that was noticeable on the coverage on the ground, but he did come from the ground and was immediately subbed out with a hamstring, looked to be a left hamstring. He was Richmond's leading clearance player with 6. He had 6 of their 21 clearances in that first half of footy. He'd also had 12 possessions to go with that. So I wonder whether Dusty Martin goes up into the middle, whether he's got the fitness to go up into the middle, because he's played predominantly up forward.
Well, I think the hope is that they go as far as they possibly can and he builds his match fitness gradually.
Well, he might have to build his match fitness in this second half, because Prestia out, he is one of their frontline midfielders. They suddenly become a little bit thin. I mean, Cochin has kicked a goal, but probably not the player he was, Cochin. He's only had 4 effective disposals. The players that are getting the ball, Ross has been all right. Sonsi's been good. He's actually had 15 possessions, Sonsi, and 4 clearances, the mattress for the Tigers. Rioli's had 13 off half-back. He has been really, really good. Stats overall, I mentioned there the inside 50 split down the middle, tackle split down the middle, uncontested possession split down the middle, contested possession +5 in favour of the Lions. And individual that first half of footy, Lachie Neale, no surprise, is the leading possession when on the ground. He had 20, if you don't mind, 9 clearances. 9 of his side's 23 clearances awarded to Lachie Neale. A couple of tackles to go with that. But Cluggage was good. He had 13 possessions. McStay, the man I mentioned, had to go into the ruck. He's battled really hard. 13 touches, did help set up a goal. Has been beaten in the hit-outs by Nankervis, as you would imagine, but has at least competed reasonably well around the ground. I don't know what sort of tank McStay has, but he's going to need to have a big one to ruck in this second half. Zorko was one of the reasons Brisbane were able to hang tough in that second term. He was quiet in the first quarter, but got going in the second. I can tell you that in the second quarter, Dane Zorko had 9 touches. So he's had 12 for the contest, 3 in the first term, 9 in the second. Zach Bailey's looked dangerous, 11 possessions. Rich half back with 10. Starcevich was really good, particularly early when the heat was on. He had 10. Berry's had 9. And Payne playing on Rewalt. That's been a good battle. In fact, the battles at both ends of the ground. Payne on Rewalt has been really good, and Andrews on Tom Lynch has been a really exciting battle. Andrews has probably taken the honours there, and Payne certainly hasn't lowered his colours. Rewalt's kicked 1 goal, 1, but Payne's done a few good things going the other way. And at the other end, we've got Bolter playing on. He's playing on, escapes me right at this minute, but he would be playing on Hipwood, who's kicked 3 goals, and you've got the other man down there, Tarrant, playing on Danaher. Tarrant's allowed Danaher to work right up the field to get a kick. Just a couple of players who are struggling a little bit. Link McCarthy, our man, he only had 4 possessions in that first quarter. Charlie Cameron, he kicked 1 goal, 1, and set up another one with a wonderful tap back to Hipwood, but he has only had the 1 effective disposal. And the other man there I mentioned, Danaher, they've got to try and find a way to get him involved a little bit closer to goal. He only took the 1 mark, 6 touches for Danaher. They'd love for him to be able to clunk a couple inside forward 50. For the Tigers, Baker's been unusually quiet, just 4 effective disposals. McIntosh been pretty quiet, just 5 effective disposals. And the other one there for them is Gibkiss, although playing in defence. He didn't have a kick in that first half of footy, only player on the ground not to have a kick other than Shane Edwards, who was only injected really late into the fray. But at half-time, it's been a really entertaining final. Richmond lead by 6 points.
Thank you for that, Benny. Comprehensive as always for Curse Hire. 3 locations, North Geelong, Grovedale and Ocean Grove. We'll take another break. It's half-time for Garmy Chicken and Beer, and we're here for Weber as well. Of course, the Weber Barbecue at APCO Cafe 24/7. Live, breathe at Krock Football.
Thanks to our number 1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. When you turn the radio on, you want to know that you're getting the songs that you want to hear every time. And that's what we deliver. The new stuff. The old school stuff. And the, oh yeah, tune stuff.
Put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
The best music picked especially for you. Live free. Geelong and the Surf Coast. Krock 955.
Hello, it's Jamie and Erin from Wombat Alley Plant Farm Geelong.
Dad, footy is on.
Okay, Erin, but I've got to tell everyone that just like a footy team, Wombat Alley Plant Farm are here to go the extra mile. Stick to the plan, have fun, work together, and give it our best shot so your garden can be the greatest garden of all.
Dad, you sound just like a coach.
Oh, thanks, Erin. Now, whose turn is it to do the dishes?
Not me. I'm still on the bench, Dad.
Right. So see you soon at Wombat Alley Plant Farm.
201 Townsend Road, Moollap.
What does your future look like? Think about your home, your family, your travels and things you enjoy. With good planning and Edge Advisory Partners, your future's looking up. Professional financial planning and advice across Geelong and surrounds by locals like you. Wherever you're at in life, Edge Advisory Partners can help. From your first home or investment to retirement planning and ensuring your wealth.
We're the team partnering with you to make smart money choices.
Edge Advisory Partners. Book an obligation-free appointment today. edgeap.com.au. community. Warralilly is a place with a great community vibe we like to call the Warralilly way of life. It all started 10 years ago when we welcomed our first resident. In 2022, we've hit another amazing milestone, 10,000 people who call Warralilly home. To celebrate, we're giving you $10,000 towards your block so you can make your mark at Warralilly, Geelong's fastest growing community. Plus, there'll be free family events throughout spring. To find out more, visit warralilly.com.au. Conditions apply.
There's nothing like a 2-for-1 deal, except Geelong Bank's 1 for 2. Hear us out. Introducing the 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Yep, you heard that right. 1% discount on our reference rate for 2 whole years. You only need a 20% deposit and you'll also get $2,000 cash back.
Top of the ladder and Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan deal. Is there anything Geelong can't do?
With Geelong Bank, it's as easy as 1-2.
Australian Credit Licence 244351. Standard lending criteria applies. Full terms and conditions at geelongbank.com.au.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, ABCO. Fueled by ABCO Cafe 24/7.
Out the back, Nankervis beaten by McStay. Good hand pass this time to Berry. Runs 15, puts a long ball inside forward 50. Cameron should get back. Oh, well done, Broad. Cameron dangerous at ground level. Cameron round the corner has kicked the Lambie's Tavern. Goal of the night.
Inside forward 50. Andrews and Lynch both went to ground. Gardner cleaned up nicely, but his left foot kick was stolen, and strolling into an open goal with the left boot and finishing nicely was Cumberland.
It's been an entertaining elimination final at the Gabba at half-time. Richmond lead by 6 points, 9-5-59 to 8-5-53 half-time, thanks to Garmy Chicken and Beer. Treat yourself to some half-time Garmy Chicken and Beer, Warren Ponds. And in the experts chair for multi-skills, unleash your potential with construction industry training at multi-skills is Mark Neal. Nealdy, what did you make of that first half of footy?
Really entertaining game, Ben. I thought Brisbane just keep hanging around, but they're doing a bit more than that. We need to give them credit. Their intensity around the footy certainly increased. They lost, as we know, McInerney, within the first couple of minutes of the game, and we thought, gee, that's going to pull them apart, literally. McStay's been the one who's gone into the ruck, although there's been a couple of incidents where we've been a little bit critical of Dan McStay. I think he's done a stellar job, really. The clearance work that has to play a part in, he's been good enough and strong enough to really play his part in there. So a tick to him, really. There's been a couple of little errant things that he's done. Charlie Cameron, he wouldn't have had many possessions, but he's been involved with 2 goals. He just looks really dangerous when the ball gets into his area. Lockie Neal, I think he's had around the 20 disposals. You said he's been absolutely fantastic. On the other side, Richmond have looked the better side, but they're going in at half-time, and they're only a goal in front, and we can see that both teams, it's quite high scoring. Well, it is a high scoring game, irrespective of whether or not it's a final, but we see both of the teams, when they get the opportunity to play on fast, they will. They like out of the back line if they can. They look to go through the back of the square. They do that because it opens up the entire inside 50. We discussed pre-game that Brisbane are, or have been all year, the number one team in terms of inside 50s and then turning it into a score, and we can see when it gets in there, they're really efficient. So it's been a high entertaining first final to kick this 2022 final series off.
Now, you're head-to-head thanks to Geelong Insurance Brokers with more than 39 years in the insurance industry. Managing Director Don and the team at Geelong Insurance Brokers, they work with their clients to ensure they have the right cover, not just the cheapest premium. Wonderful supporters of Krock Footy, Geelong Insurance Brokers. Now, anybody who went to Cameron, it was Broad.
Yep.
Cameron's had 6 touches, 1 effective, 1 goal, 1, also a goal assist. Broad, obviously not his job to get a bit of the ball, although he can do that. He's had 9 touches.
Well, Charlie Cameron's been involved with 2 goals, but I think for the amount of inside 50s, Nathan Broad has done a really good job. So at this stage, it's a points decision to Nathan Broad. But that said, it's just Charlie Cameron, because of his speed and his ability to get the ball in the air and on the ground, every time it goes near him, he does look dangerous. But a points decision at half-time to Nathan Broad in that head-to-head.
I wonder whether I mentioned there McStay, does he have a tank to go for basically an entire game in the ruck? Are they going to have to throw Danaher in there for spurts? Because I don't know, you can just sense that Nankervis was starting to get on top. McStay still doing some good things around the ground, but in the ruck, Nankervis was starting to get on top.
Yeah, he was. Danaher's been in there, but only a couple of times. And that's probably one, Ben, that the Brisbane Lions don't know. I would suggest that Dan McStay has never played an entire game as the number one ruckman, so they'll have some data about what he does, in the running in pre-season and those sorts of things. So it's a bit of an unknown, but you would think the longer the game goes, that may favour Nankervis.
The other one too, from the other side, Richmond, Presti are out. Their midfield suddenly looks a little bit thin. I mentioned the 6 clearances, 6 of their 21 clearances. The temptation is to maybe put Martin in there, perhaps underdone.
Yeah.
Is that something that the coaches obviously will discuss?
Or
would they have a pre-plan that Dustin Martin can't come into the midfield because he hasn't got enough minutes under his belt?
Yeah, I don't know. They wouldn't like to do it too often, for too much. Shane Edwards has come onto the ground, but again, he's not your 80% midfield type player, but I suppose he's only going to play half, so we might see him in there. I'm not sure how long they'd be prepared to put Dusty in there. Again, they alone will know his fitness, but I think they've sort of given the game away a little bit with him predominantly playing as the deepest forward all evening.
They probably need a little bit too, Richmond, out of Baker. He had a wonderful season, Baker, just 4 effective disposals, 5 in total, 1 tackle, and no inside 50s in that first half of footy.
He's been pretty quiet, let's be fair. They've really had some good performances. I've been really impressed with Daniel Rioli off the half-back line. He's been a player that has stood up for me, and in terms of him being involved with scoring chains and things such as that, I think he's been really good. Another player who sometimes goes under the radar is Jaden Short. I really like it. He's one of the players at Richmond, if you want someone kicking the ball, I know they've got a lot, but someone kicking the footy off half-back, he's one. I think he's a previous best and fairest winner in a premiership year. He's a really good player. He's had a pretty good evening as well.
The one for the Lions that they'd probably like to see get involved is Link McCarthy. Just the 3 effective disposals, 2 marks, hasn't had a shot at goal. Has been involved, but really hasn't had a massive impact on the flow of the game.
Yeah, if players such as Link McCarthy can get involved and help guys like Charlie Cameron out, it certainly does. It clearly gives Brisbane another avenue towards goal. But I think Brisbane will be in there at half-time thinking that they're right in this game and they've done a really good job to be this close.
You tipped the Lions pre-game?
Yep,
You're sticking with the Lions at half-time?
Yes, I will, only because I picked them pre-game.
Third quarter not too far away, thanks to Warralilly.
They have now, Kingy, again, we love every now and then just saying things that are bad for radio. Have you?
Yeah, I know. I've noticed.
Garmy chickened your
the jacket.
Yeah. And you know what's unfortunate about that?
What's that?
This is the first of 4 finals games for K-Rock that you're calling this weekend. I'm not sure whether or not you can get whatever laundry detergent you
I own 2 jackets.
Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, so
and I know where the spares are.
Yes, I was going to say there's another terminology for that you have taken 2 jackets from the K-Rock studio. Have you absolutely garmied your top?
Have you had a little garmy mischief, have you? that is next level mischief.
It's almost a crime.
That is,
there's police tape around this.
If you drop a bit of pasta in that, it'll be like an entree. That's outrageously bad.
If that's got a bit of chili in it, that's going to burn through that.
Live in Geelong's most awarded community. That's Warralilly, warralilly.com.au. Third quarter from the Gabba. Here's Benny.
McStay in the ruck again.
He is up against Nankervis. And Curvis got it down, and Martin's gone into the middle too. Neildy, I think McCluggage couldn't track it. Coming through with Sonsi, had a fumble. Look at Neil in traffic, poise. Handball to Coleman. Coleman kicks it forward. They come up to meet it. Ground level. Hipwood. Hand pass wasn't great, although Robertson did well. Got it out to Cameron. Cameron tries to break the tackle. Gave to Mitch Robertson, the former Blue. High ball, inside forward, 50. Vlauston did well. Kept his eye on the ball. His kick went about half a metre. Hipwood, that was almost a throw to McCluggage, who's immediately tackled. And just as Vlauston was about to decamp, the umpire blew his whistle. The P was going off furiously, and he said he would throw it up 48 out from Brisbane's goal.
McStay, Nankervis. Nankervis climbed high, won the tap. Then did his own roving. Then McStay reefed it from his grasp, and then he threw it out the back towards Neil. Neil had a handball towards Coleman and Hipwood. Neither could take it cleanly. Good tackle, Coleman dragging Daniel Rioli to ground. And just inside forward 50, we will get a ball up. In fact, it's Gibcus at the bottom of that pack.
Enormous numbers around this footy.
Sounds like a plant that grows in the corner of the room, doesn't it? A gibcus.
Down by now.
We've got a plant and a bed.
Or a mattress.
A mattress.
Chance for Edwards on the up. That's a great handball. Chance now for Marlon Pickett, who just shrugs the shoulders and runs away. Kicks towards right half forward. Wanting Martin could spoil Gardner. Front of the pack numbers. One of those was Berry. Release was good for Starcevic. Lowered the eyes. The kick, I don't think it was intended for where it finished McStay, but then he didn't get too far back off the man on the mark and had his kick partially smothered. It skidded through to Bolter, and Bolter kicked nicely wide, and it's taken by Pickett just back of the wing broadcast side.
So Pickett wants to move it quickly. He does. He goes down the line. A one-on-one Lynch versus Andrews. Andrews did really well. Stood his ground and then fisted it Mick Schultz style 74 rows back. To the congratulations of his teammates as he trundles back to full back. So an important one-on-one win there from Harris Andrews. Been really good battle with Lynch. Lynch is 2 marks, 1 goal. Andrews has been a force down back.
Right half forward boundary throw in. McStay front position, won the tap down and then knocked it sort of into the path of Devon Robertson, who was dragged down in the tackle. Ball spilled out. He was dispossessed. Chance now for McCluggage. Third grab. He finally got it. But he had plenty of time. Then a handball inboard. Bailey, Neal, true centre wing, looking to draw a man. Fired a handball wide. McCarthy, the former Cat, stepped inside the man coming towards him and then sent a long ball inside forward 50. Danaher couldn't mark in the left forward pocket. But the little footwork of McCarthy to get off his left and onto his right was quite beautiful to watch.
Probably wasn't a great...
It was the ankle breaking of Daniel Rioli.
Wasn't a great entry in the end, though. He kicked it to a 2-on-1.
Well, it was a 1-on-1 at the time. I don't think the play got back in impact of the contest. Danaher just couldn't complete the mark. Front of the pack, Zorko, wonderful bit of roving, but jamming on the boot will bounce at the top of the goal square. Sat on its point, taken by Vlosten, who was then taken by McCarthy, and 12 metres out from goal, we will get a ball up. Brisbane in attack, looking to tie the scores.
You can see why Brisbane are really good at the forward 50 stoppages and scoring. Some of their players get out, they hit the stoppage on the move, they create space. It's hard to defend.
Danaher tried to push Nankervis under the ball, but he stood his ground, got it out to McIntosh. He's got no left foot, McIntosh. He kicked it about 8 metres. Rich, or was he taken high? Umpire said no. Payne almost threw that to Robertson on the left shoe. In fact, I think he did. No, it's going to be a free kick, is it? Coming back to Rich for too high. So is he a chance here, Daniel Rich?
He
doesn't even know it's his free kick.
You'd rather him on the run.
He's as confused as that gypsy with the mortgage. He cannot believe that he's got a free kick. And I reckon he's half a sneaky chance from 55 metres here, Daniel Rich.
Gee, was there a free kick there?
Yeah, he clipped him.
He's kicked 1 goal, 2 on the season. He'll kick from about 54.74 metres. He's a thumping kick. Runs out on the arc. He lets fly. It's coming back. Lands in the square and rushed through by Tarrant and Nankervis.
Long point.
It was a really long point, but it cuts the margin to 5. 9-5 plays 8-6. Third quarter Krock style thanks to Warralilly, living Geelong's most awarded community.
Short in the right back pocket, driving a kick. Gardner worked under the footy nicely and took the mark on the juggle. He comes inboard and it's a well-weighted kick. McCluggage, he comes to the wing with a kick that's okay for Zorko. Zorko wants to centre circles and finds McStay. McStay now sending a kick forward on the 45 and Rich's mark just forward to the wing outer side. Onto his left boot he swings. A driving kick to the pocket. Oh, what a cracker onto the chest of McCarthy, who was just, dare I say, Benny, lurking. And when you lurk on a footy field, where do you want to lurk?
Inside forward 50. It's the only place to lurk.
And the only place you can say lurking without it sounding a little bit dodgy.
No, it does. It does sound dodgy. I'm not sure. You two having a conversation about lurking.
It's past 9 o'clock.
That makes it worse.
So the man on the mark stands 25 from goal. The former Cat, Link McCarthy, playing his 50th consecutive game tonight for the Lions. That was never heard of when he was at the Cats, when he struggled to get it on the park. Shot at goal and he's kicked it, and the Lions are in front. They lead by a point. Link kicks his first. And I can tell you, if the Lions win, we are talking to him post-game on Krock Footy. 9-6-60 Brisbane, 9-5-59 the Tigers in this third quarter of Warralilly, live in Geelong's most awarded community. Want to find out how? Check out warralilly.com.au.
Really good one-on-one by Gardner. Now, we've been critical of him sometimes with his ball use this evening, but he's playing on Dusty Martin. That was a one-on-one mark that he took. That repelled that effort by the Tigers to get it in their own 50. From there, they used the ball really well, Brisbane. They didn't play on by hand. Each disposal was a kick and mark, and eventually, somehow, Link McCarthy found all that space. Good kick by Daniel Rich.
Yeah, that was an elite kick. That's travelled 50 metres, low, hard and flat. Few players in the comp can kick the ball like that. And McCarthy, really good finish. So ball back in the middle. Lions lead by a point. Neil, was he held? No, but he won the footy anyway. It didn't matter. He kicks it forward. Ball's back. Long ball. Oh, up went Danaher. He couldn't mark. Vlaurston tried to break the tackle. Couldn't. Baker went off the ground, but only as far as Neil. Neil at centre half forward. Too far out to score. Goes into the pocket. Can he get a marking? Danaher was up early. That was TAA. Pryor's played on, and that'll be 50 against him, won't it? Surely. It had to know that was a free kick. That was up and away, TAA sort of style. That was departure, so it left about 9 minutes before the passengers had actually got on.
Tarrant kicks to half-back, wanting Lynch, spoiled by Andrews. Then found the ball on the ground. Left foot kick was partially smothered. Rolled inside forward 50. Scooped up towards Matheson, but it missed him. Martin had it knocked away by Hipwood. Hipwood did okay. He just locked it up. And the ball's under two players, and neither have possession of it, and they tackle each other. The umpire says, well, it's a 0-0 draw. I'll ball it up in the left foot pocket.
Kerr's highest 7 inside 50s to none in this quarter in favour of the Lions.
Dan Curvis won the tap down, but Hipwood did the roving, kicked on his non-preferred right. It's a floater across the face of goal, rolling ball. This is set up for the Tigers to attack, but Cumberland overran the footy, opened the door for Bailey, snapped to right foot, bouncing ball inside 50. Danaher should have knocked it down. There's going to be a free kick, I reckon, for a push. Oh, so the umpire heard... Well, the umpire's paid a free kick, and it's going to the... Yeah, I thought it was going to the Tigers. The play continued on.
For about 5 minutes.
Yeah, before the umpire could get other players to stop, and it's a 50-metre penalty as well. So the noise must have been a contributing factor there for the Brisbane players to continue the play the way they did. They went on as if nothing had happened.
They kicked a goal as well, King.
And Baker has got a 50-metre penalty and gets them out of trouble for the moment.
Does. He goes wide. He's got Tarrant, former Roo, on the wing. He's forced into a slow play though, Tarrant, so just ambles away and kicks it down the line towards half forward in the direction of Lynch. That's a good mark. Had half a metre on Andrews and took a contested mark. Too far out to score, Lynch. 60 from home. Forward flank. His team trails by a point. 9-6 plays 9-5. It's been a seesawing tussle. Goes long. Mick stays there to defend, but only as far as Ross, who handball to McIntosh. McIntosh snaps on the right. McIntosh snaps on the right, and McIntosh has kicked the goal. All a little too easy there. Front and square row, hand pass, and in space, McIntosh had time to size up the big white ones. And McIntosh just kicks his 9th goal of the season and restores a 5-point lead to the Tigers. 10-5-65. Brisbane are 9-6-60. Third quarter, K-Rock style, thanks to Warralilly, Living Geelong's most awarded community.
Another really good shot for goal there. That was a great kick by Camden McIntosh. It's interesting. So he's playing on the wing. He let his direct opponent go back to help out the defenders, which is what you want to do. He needs to be picked up by a high half forward. You must make sure that your forwards are still connected to the rest of the team when the ball's deep in your own back line. The forwards didn't come down to replace that winger. That's why he's there on his own, and they pay dearly. A great shot for goal.
That is a good finish from McIntosh and a good goal for the Tigers. Just when you felt that Brisbane had a bit of upper hand, well, they now trail again. Tapped down by Dan Curvis, but the roving and Neil elite kick towards right half forward is okay, and McCluggage in front of Rioli is marked on the chest. That's a good Wombat Gully Plant Farm matchup. Handball back inboard to Robinson, who was on his non-preferred side, but he stepped inside traffic, gave it to Neil, stepped around Bolton, confronted, neat little left foot kick, stretching, marking, mark paid, and it stayed. Barely went 15, but the mark is paid and a shot at goal coming.
Lockie Neal's up to 28 touches. He's had 8 in this quarter already. That's only been going 10 minutes. I'm not sure what Richmond can do there, but they need to do something because he's had 12 clearances and 28 possessions. We're only 10 minutes into the third quarter.
He's basically put Brisbane on his back, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely has. And given that Dan McStay's the ruck up against Dan Curvis, he's not winning many hit-outs. The fact that they're playing so well in there is magnificent.
Linked with a move to Collingwood. He's put his team back in front, so if he's going there, it's not in the next week. if they had to stay in front at the final siren. 10-6-66 the Brisbane Lions, 10-5-65 Richmond, third quarter. Krock, Warralilly scoreboard. Warralilly, 10 years at the top, and still so much more to come.
Got a funny story too about Camden McIntosh. He's managed by the same manager that manages Aaron Norton, and they went out for lunch, and Camden McIntosh said, what do you do?
To Aaron Norton.
He didn't know who he was. And I think Aaron Norton said, I kicked 6 against G-Blokes about 3 weeks ago. He had no idea who he was. Absolutely none. Which is absolutely fantastic.
Really, isn't it?
Yes. So he's beloved by his teammates, Camden McIntosh, because he's a bit left of centre, I think. He's not in the zone, as you speak. He's in his own zone, and it's quite a humorous one.
Based on what's happened so far this quarter, if your surname doesn't start with Mick, you're not kicking a goal. McCarthy, McIntosh, McStay. McCotchin now sends it inside forward 50, looking for a mark, and it's taken by Mick Lynch. 35 out directly in front. Tom McLynch.
That was a good mark.
That was. He's a good player. He took that long kick down the line before, just in front of Harris Andrews. Now he gets this one on the lead. Sometimes I think we don't appreciate what a good player that Tom Lynch is.
It's a Hamlin hanger contender, Tom Lynch, under pressure from Harris Andrews, who's no slouch. I'm waiting for Benny to use the phrase.
What do you mean?
Slouch.
He's a tremendous slouch. Don't sell yourself short, Judge.
Thank you, Ben, for the Caddyshack reference on a Thursday night on Krock Football. Brought to you by APCO Cafe 24/7. Tom Lynch to give his team back the lead. 30 metres out, directly in front, no problems. Splits the middle with a lovely kick. Tom Lynch kicks his second of the evening. That's the Tigers' 11th, and they lead by 5. 11-5-71, playing 10-6-66 in this Krock footy. And there's a gentleman in the crowd of Division we saw.
What's happened to him?
I hope he doesn't have an employer.
Oh, wow.
Because they saw what he was doing.
Some people, when they go to sporting events, just completely leave their IQ at the gate. He was giving some type of description that you just shouldn't be giving on national television.
I hope the host broadcaster cut to the break, and that was just the in-house vision that we was getting that.
That man is celebrating something good, and he's turned around.
And what's he done?
He was doing plenty of things that aren't good.
That's ridiculous. People do lose their mind. It's going to be a free kick out of the middle from the restart. It's going to go to Miller, is it? Having a run in the ruck. So Miller.
They would have made it to Sandy Roberts' Plays of the Week, or Plays of the Month back in the day.
Oh, that was amazing.
I missed it, unfortunately, so hopefully
No, we're glad you did.
We'll get 7 to rewind the tape.
I think you've got a couple of those on your phone, actually.
I could have too. I've got plenty of stuff on the phone. Long ball inside forward 50, rewind up, but off his hands and out for a throw-in 30 metres around.
Put it this way, it was very immature from the gentleman in the crowd.
Was it?
Yeah.
We
absolutely
love immaturity, so that would have made it even more humorous.
Now let's get back. Lockie Neal, how many clearances is he at? He's on fire. He got another
12 and 28.
From the boundary throw-in, there's a chance for Coleman to clear at the front of the pack. Jams it on the boot for the Lions for the wing. Hipwood couldn't complete the mark, went through his hands, found it at ground level, had it knocked from his grasp, went again, had it knocked away again by Gibcus. McIntosh a handball over his head. Wonderful pick-up. Neal's been outstanding, but the kick, he's going to be turned over, and the Tigers are going to go into attack.
It was kicked by Short. High ball, one-on-one. Payne on Rewalt. Gets out the back. Rewalt's got a step. Payne right with him. Rewalt did really well. His hand pass, though, wasn't great. He had nothing in the square. Only man there was Danaher. Danaher's kick, geez, that was a real Captain Risky cape and all. But it got to Pryor, who marks and then lopes away and goes short. His kick's not great, though. That's a terrible kick. He wanted McCluggage, missed him completely. He only found Baker, who handballed to Ross, and then he was immediately tackled by Pryor, who came up to mop up the mess. And Pryor is not having a great night. He's only a young fella, 21 years of age, playing his 30th game, but he's made some mistakes, and that was another one. There, is he the son of Michael?
I believe so, yes.
Could be.
Yes. Boundary throw in.
For Essendon and the West Coast?
West Coast, he did. Yep, boundary throw in. At the front of the pack, McCluggage and Edwards off the ground for Richmond towards right half forward. Now Short goes off the ground on the outside of the right boot. Buys 20 metres for his team. Martin being held surely by Gardner. Umpire didn't see it that way. Now Gardner calls for out on the full. Came off his knee or upper thigh. And it's now our boundary throw in right forward pocket. But Gardner was grabbing onto the jumper there of Dustin Martin.
He was, and it should have been a free kick.
And it wasn't paid. And it's right in front of the umpire, which just...
Now, we think he saw it. He might not have seen it.
From the boundary throw-in from behind, tap down one by Miller, rolls back towards the boundary line. Devon Robertson runs out of room for the Lions and will get another stoppage. So we have seen a pretty entertaining contest. We saw 4 goals in fairly quick succession, including McCarthy, McIntosh and McStay before Lynch ruined it after the Mac run. And from the boundary throw-in, there's going to be a free kick going which way? It's going against the Tigers, going to the Lions, and it's against Miller. And now the kick of Danaher is smothered by Cumberland. Cumberland's left foot rolling ball, tracked by Morris Rioli. Can he keep it alive? Oh, wonderful. Step past Coleman and strolled into an open goal. Just a little Rioli shrug of the hips. If your surname's not Rioli, you can't do that. Whether it was Morris Senior back in the day, Cyril, Dean, Daniel, and now Morris Jr. or Willie, take your pick. There is a wonderful goal. That is your Lammies Tavern goal of the day. Tied against the right-hand goal post. Confronted by Coleman. Strolled past him into an open goal. And an 11-point Tiger lead. 12-5-77. Playing 10-6-66. Third quarter Carroll football thanks to Warralilly.
That's just amazing. That is absolutely brilliant play by Rioli. Just super stuff. From the Brisbane point of view, that's just not what Joe Danaher should be doing.
Yeah, why is he running past getting a handball in defence?
He shouldn't be. His go is not field kicking off the half-back line. That's just... There's no need for that from him. You want other players doing that.
Yeah, but it's even... He shouldn't be doing it, but don't handball it to him. Out of the middle, McStay, who's working hard, kicks it forward. Archie's there. He's gone quiet since a bright first quarter, coming on as the Medi sub. Robertson slaps it to Pryor. Pryor on the left. Pryor goes in the direction of a teammate. Well done by Gibcus, though. Read it well, but then his hand pass missed the mark. He's there, though, to force it over. Brisbane fans want a deliberate rush behind. Umpires said no. And just a minor score margin is 10. And Gibcus will do the kicking in. Third quarter thanks to Warralilly.
He shanked the kick, but he's going to end up on its intended target's chest, and that's Dustin Martin. Martin at right half back now, driving it into space. Lynch dropped a mark in transition. Now he soccers off the ground. He goes to ground, and it rolls to the boundary line and out of bounds. And the decision is there'll be a boundary throw. I'm sure they can't pay that as insufficient intent.
They would if it was further up the ground. If you're kicking that from the wing along the wing, that's deliberate every day of the week.
Margin is 10. Right forward pocket, boundary throwing lines in attack. Third quarter thanks to Warralilly. Front position McStay from behind Miller for Richmond on the tap down. Coleman was clean, but he just jammed it on the left boot. It's a high floating ball towards half back and back with the fly, and it's well judged. The mark taken by Lynch, who comes inboard to Baker. He's got it at right half forward, but the man on the mark 65 from home.
So Lynch has come to life in this third quarter. He's been really good. Baker puts a long ball. Rewalt was up, couldn't mark. Miller did the roving, if you don't mind, at 200 centimetres. Hand pass to Martin, broke one tackle. Then the next one, gave it back to Miller. His hand pass chopped off. Going off the ground was Bailey, only as far as Ross. He puts a high ball towards the face of goal. A couple of lines nearly crashed into each other there. In fact, the kick came from short, and the ball has gone out for a throw-in adjacent to the behind post. Richmond attacking. Brisbane do not want to concede a goal here. They trail by 10, 8.5 minutes remaining on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock to three-quarter time.
The biggest margin of the game has been 12 points. That was Richmond at the 25-minute mark of the opening term. Off the ground went McStay, didn't get a piece of it, but thankfully not, because Berry was able to clean up for the Lions and send it towards the outer wing, wanting Hipwood in a 2-on-1. He'd be happy to see the ball out. Vlosten went to get under the tackle. He's asked for a free kick. It's not coming, so he flings it back to the boundary umpire. And we'll get a boundary throw. And Darcy Gardner was down in back play for the Lions.
Friendly fire, King.
But he's okay. Thank you, Neildy. As we check in on him for St John of God, your emergency specialist, open 24/7 Myer Street in Geelong.
So McStay up against Miller, ground level. Ross did well, handball to Bolton. Bolton's kick's partially smothered. Rioli dangerous. Well done by Coleman this time, wrapped him up. Wasn't going to get danced around on this occasion. As we see vision of Dion Prestia subbed out just before half-time with a hamstring injury. He's going to miss well, potentially the remainder of the final series, depending upon the severity, but you'd have to think he would be in some doubt. They would probably need to make a grand final at the very least for Prestia to get back into the action in season 2022. Robertson's got it, gives to Starcevic. He had to hurriedly go back to Robinson, and it's going to be a free kick for holding the ball. So the pressure has just gone up 2 or 3 notches from the Tigers as Starcevic held onto the cranium. Cochin takes the free, goes into the pocket. Oh, Cumberland was up, couldn't mark. Lynch gives to Rioli. Rioli gives to Short. Short's got time to find Big Nankers. Big Nan Curvis. Chip shot, ball's not great. Only man back is Pryor, and he marks on the last line for the Lions.
Under pressure now, Brisbane, as he goes short with the kick to Matheson, and the Bell Park product has got it. Left back pocket, he goes short to Pryor, who would run on, and they're still inside defensive 50, and this is like earlier in the game, Neil, he just couldn't find the exit.
Yeah, they can't at the moment, King. Richmond have been better around the ball and they've tightened up defensively, although if this goes long, Brisbane are out on the centre wing.
They went across the face of goal. Payne went looking long for Berry. Good front on contact from Pickett to Spoil, but he's taken in a wonderful tackle by Coleman. An advantage we paid. Berry picked up the loose ball. Kick towards left half forward. Neil, wonderful spoil Vlosten, and Vlosten found it on the bounce. Confronted by Neil, but a handball release. Ross, and they might hit him on the counter here, Benny.
They will. That's a really, really good mark by Rewalt. Bad entry there from Brisbane, from Berry. Wasn't to the advantage enough of Neil. Rewalt goes wide. Rioli getting involved. Marks wants to come back inboard. Does. Squirts one to Ross. Now Ross, 60 out. Ross goes low and hard, and Lynch again. Front position on Andrews. Takes the mark. 25 metres out. Not much of an angle.
Gee, from that bad inside 50, as you called, Ben, that's a bit of a training run there. Richmond were the ones that just took over. They kick mark, heaps of space to lead into for Lynch. That shouldn't be there at all. But a good kick by Ross, really strong hands by Lynch. You said before he's had a terrific third quarter. They kicked this 16 points, biggest margin of the game.
He's kicked 2, Lynch, and has been, after a relatively quiet first half, it's been good in this third term, and he kicks the goal. So Richmond steal a march in the shadows of three-quarter time. As Neildy mentioned, it's a game-high margin, 16 points, 13-5-83. The Tigers, Brisbane are 10-7-67. Third quarter thanks to Warralilly, live in Geelong's most awarded community. That entry from Berry, he had Neil, and I think he had McCarthy. There was a 2-on-1 there, and he just didn't kick it to the advantage of either and allowed Vlauston in, and suddenly there's a goal going around at the other end.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, we talk about momentum a lot and how do you stop it, and when you've got it, you need to score. Richmond have the momentum and they're kicking goals. At the start of this quarter, I think it was 8 inside 50s to 1 Brisbane. They managed to get 1 goal, and it's just some critical errors when you're just trying to hang in there as Brisbane are. Yeah, that kick inside 50, it was short to a 1-on-1 right on the 50 paint, and it was a poor kick. It's cost them dearly.
Back in the middle. And the tap down one by Nan Curvis. Neil tries to get his hands on the footy, but Nan Curvis did very well. Handball release. Cochin didn't take possession. He just volleyed it forward, but back with the flight, Wilmot, who's been solid on debut.
He's been really good.
Has taken the mark. He goes short. And they'll get out of defensive 50 with a kick to Rich. Came from Zorko. Got it at the back edge of the centre square. Short back to Zorko, who will look to handball to Rich, decided not to. That was a smart move. Now his driving kick, Bolton got a piece of that was extended from McStay. Morris Rioli with a bounce after picking up the loose ball. Kick inside forward 50, had too much on it for Lynch. Andrews over the top of the spoil, kept his feet, tracked it to the boundary line, will keep it alive, and on the outside of the right boot finds Coleman on the way out.
His crisis averted there.
That's terrific defence there by Harris Andrews. Yeah. It could have eased the 50-metre penalty here.
That was a poor option by Zorko.
That's terrible.
I don't know what he tried to get 8 metres to a contest. So 50 will help the Lions out. Coleman, man on the mark, is rushed to half forward. Coleman puts a long ball inside forward 50. Danaher's there. Tarrant's had his measure. Ball spills for Berry. He got a bad bounce though. Pickett's there. Then tackled by Berry. Pickett got to his feet, but his hand pass is chopped off by Robertson. He handballs over the top. Cameron's got wheels. Cameron's got wheels. And Cameron kicks the goal. Goodness me. He's got 2. And just when they desperately needed it, he cuts the margin back to 10. Good pressure inside forward 50 by Berry. And the margin is that 10 points. 13-5 playing 11-7. 4.5 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. This third term thanks to Warralilly.
That was good pressure by Berry. He made an error before, he made up for it then. He nailed Pickett really well in a very good tackle. I actually thought for a second that Pickett was able, I was distracted there by Kingy's trying to sort out his garbage chicken track top. Apologies for that. I actually thought Pickett was going to get away with the ball, but he didn't, and that's just what Brisbane need. They need to get the ball inside 50 and have players like Cameron take their opportunities. 10 points, they're certainly in this game. Unlike Kingy's top.
No, this is not great for radio, but Kingy's trying to scrape sauce off a sort of a raincoat that is made out of an animal known as acrylic.
Grabbed out of the ruck by Nankervis, kicks on his right boot towards the broadcast wing. It's going to be a free kick for a push against Berry. Is it against Berry? It is, coming back to McIntosh, who's got it. True centre wing, broadcast side on the logo, drives it long, 15 out from goal. Big defensive spoil came, knocked it towards the boundary line and out of bounds for a boundary throw from Payne. Benny, it was this time last year, Charlie Cameron stormed to an open goal, pulled out one of your best calls.
He did.
And I was disappointed you didn't use it there.
That was Singapore.
Was that the internet one?
Internet speed.
That's excellent.
Geez, he has got some wheels, so he's dangerous.
Ball back into play. Nankervis uncontested, grab it out of the ruck, snap and kick a goal. No, just missed to the right. Through from behind, all a bit too easy margin again. As it has been a couple of times tonight, 11 points to the good of the Tigers. 13-6-84, 11-7-73. I reckon we're going to get two teams topping 100 in a final, which is a rarity.
Yeah, it is. What we saw then, we asked at half-time if McStay had the tank to go all night with Nankervis. He's starting to get tired. It's time on in the third quarter. It's a big effort when you're not used to it to go and wrestle with the big boys.
Zorko kicks short. He's got Andrews who marks on defensive 50. Now he kicks it back inboard to Rich, and they're just got control but not gaining too many metres. The lines. Rich is now back 30 metres out from his own defensive goal, and he doesn't know what to do. He's confused as the old cow and AstroTurf. He goes to McCarthy. Did he hang on to it long enough? Umpire said no. Edwards on the right. Edwards kick not great. Chopped off by McCluggage. It was just the second touch for Edwards, who's been quiet in this third term after replacing Prestia late in the second quarter. The kick from McCluggage is a howler. He wanted McCarthy. He's kicked it straight to Pickett.
Pickett's got it with the man on the mark, 70 from goal. He'll just chip one over the top to a man running into space, and that's Boston, who marks in front of Mitch Robinson. He'll come inboard to the point of the square at left half forward. Baker uncontested. That's just opened the ground up for the Tigers here. Brisbane have rolled numbers back. A push and shove going on between Lynch and Andrews in back play. Revolt flies at the footy, can't mark. Ball hits the ground, head over it. Berry, cop one high, I reckon. Umpire didn't see it that way. And 15 out from goal. Richmond in attack. We'll get a ball up.
Gee, I'm not sure if he actually asked for that. They're red hot if you buckle at the knees, but I think that was legitimate around the neck.
Tap down Nankervis. Martin loitering with intent around the contest. Gardner was good enough to impede his progress, bring him to ground. Ball up again. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock, 29.5 minutes gone. So we're going to have a long quarter. There's still 2:47 to play, Benny.
So Nankervis, Martin down, had the strength to get the kick away, went a few metres. Back there is Andrews, who's had a wonderful battle with Lynch. Fair to say Lynch has got on top in this term, but Andrews certainly hasn't taken a step back. He saved a goal before and then helped set it up with his defensive play. So throw in. Brisbane defending grimly. 2 minutes 30 to three-quarter time. McStay up against Nankervis. 2:25. McCluggage came through. Hit the ball at speed. Took it. Then goes with the long ball. It seems to be all the Tigers, though. Although Bailey did really well. He did wonderfully well. Then he sold Candy. Should be an open forward line. Has he run too far? He handballs to Cameron. Cameron, has he got that Singapore internet speed? He hasn't. And Gibcus. Oh, the indoor plan fell over. Robinson round the corner. Robinson kicks the goal. Goodness me! And Damien Hardwick looks like someone has just passed away in the family. Not happy. Brisbane Brisbane are back to within 5 points, 13-6-84. Game on, the Lions are 12-7-79. Third quarter, thanks to Warralilly, live in Geelong's most awarded community.
And Neildy, they're listening to us all over the world. Pete Duff is listening to us on the Rhine in Germany.
Is that right?
Good call, lads.
Excellent.
Joining us on the New Growth Bench Tops Facebook Messenger.
Oh, that's absolutely outstanding. I'll tell you what was outstanding. Zach Bailey's effort in the middle of the ground. Great clearance from McCluggage. He went through. They were outnumbered 2-4 in there, the Lions. Really good work. And whatever you were talking about, your Singapore internet speed, he nearly got it. And then we've gone from the Singapore internet speed to an indoor plant who slipped over and they got a goal. And someone in Germany's just gone, cheers to that. That's excellent, Pete.
Oh, there'll be clinking of steins going on somewhere. Nankervis inside forward 50 with the kick. Good spoil. Gardner front of the pack. Edwards, great release. Sonzi's left foot kick went up the shot tower, but he was dumped as he kicked, and he'll win a free kick.
No, it's free kick to Edwards.
Or is it Edwards after getting rid of the footy against Mitch
in the
Robinson?
back. I think he's paid in the back.
So Sonzi's kick away, and it was Mitch Robinson after Sonzi got rid of the kick, and the umpires paid late contact. Well, it's not late contact, because if it was late, well, that should be where the ball's gone to, shouldn't it, Neildy?
Oh, I'm not sure.
It goes through for points, though, doesn't it? You'd have to take the kick in the hot dog stand.
Well, he wouldn't. He wouldn't, but the player nearest to it.
Nearest to the hot dog stand?
Yes.
Wasn't that man before? I was happy about the goals.
I hope it's 0.
Big kick in this young man's career. He sends it on its way. He's only kicked 3, 2 goals. He's now got 3, and his team leads again by 11. And Mitch Robinson didn't need to do that. 14-6-90, Richmond. Brisbane, 12-7-79.
I think that's the key comment, Kingy, to be fair. Like, some people will debate, he didn't get him in the head, and was it late, was it this? The reality is, if you do that, the umpire's likely to give a free kick away, and if you do that near goal, cheapest, that is such a silly thing to do. There's being tough, and there's being tough. That's silly.
He just does that marginal thing that frustrates.
Yeah, which is exactly there.
He's in the team for that stuff, but it just has to be controlled, and he's just lined the guy up there.
Yeah.
And, 20 years ago, that's a good bump, but not in modern day footy, and you just can't cost your team a goal like that. It's really frustrating, and probably why. I mean, let's be honest, I think if Rayner and Lyons are in this team, Mitch Robinson's probably not playing. So ball back in the middle. Richmond work it forward. It spills out to that man Robinson, who kicks a left footer to half forward. Bailey's been dangerous. Tried to tap it to McCarthy. Bailey did well though. Gave it to Danaher. Danaher on the left from 49. Danaher's been in witness protection. Danaher's long ball puts him out of witness protection and back on the streets. Margin is back to 5. 14-6-90. This game is an absolute cracker. Brisbane 13-7-85. 58 seconds remaining till three-quarter time. And we've got the close one thanks to Warralilly.
Yes, indeed. We have great work ethic by Danaher. He contested that ruck, and to get out and be just breaking the paint of 50 when you get the handball. I think there might have been a few heart in mouths by the Brisbane supporters as Joey's lining up then. That's not his, what would you say, Ben? That's not his one wood, but it was terrific kick from 50, good work ethic. And they just refused to go away, the Lions, 5 points. Bailey's been really important in the last 5 minutes.
He's a very smart player, Bailey. He knew the ball came to him, he knew not to take it, to tap it, because he would have been tackled. Kept the ball moving. He just has a really good game sense about him.
Debuted round 11, 2013 against the Blues. He goes in the ruck, and Curvis grabbed it out. The handball for Cochin was knocked down. Cochin comes again. He caught one high. No. Ball spills out the back. Ross, Nankervis, handball into space. One of McIntosh. Good tackle, Berry. Ball spills out in that tackle. Does he win a free kick? No. McCluggage, a handball. Zorko on his left. That's a horrendous kick. And it's going to send the line of the Tigers through Nankervis back towards 25 from goal. Good spoil from behind came from that man in pain to knock it down, but it's only as far as Bolton, but Bolton couldn't get bend on the kick. He's put it out of bounds on the full. And we are set for an absolutely thrilling final term. If Brisbane can just stay out of trouble for this final 21 seconds, they'll go in only trailing by 5 points. No McInerney since early in the contest. Subbed out for St John of God. No Prestia for the Tigers. Kick to the wing. McStay knocked it down. Ball hits the ground. Bailey through traffic. Neil outstanding. Nowhere to go. So you handball at close quarters to McStay, who kicks on his left towards half forward. No mark taken. Ball at ground level. And that will just take us to three-quarter time. 3 seconds left on the clock. 90 plays 85. Sudden death elimination final. Season over for the losers. A spot in a semi-final against Melbourne or Sydney for the winner. From the boundary thrown, ball gets out the back. McStay grabbed the gate to McCluggage, who kicked inside 50 as the siren sounded. We're 3 quarters down. 3 of 36 will play in this final series. And there's only 5 points separating Richmond and Brisbane. It's the Tigers leading after that third quarter, thanks to Warralilly, Geelong's most awarded community. 10 years at the top and still so much more to deliver. Check out warralilly.com.au. A break from the Gabba with the Tigers leading by 5 over the Lions. Who advances? We'll find out after this. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Win a Weber barbecue at APCO Cafe 24/7. Live, breathe, Krock footy.
Thanks to our number 1 ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Well, take a look in here. Whoa, looks crisp. What a beauty.
Everyone's going to love her.
Mate, she's the Holy Grail and from Geelong, you say?
Yep, she's Geelong as, a real local.
Would you call it a bit of a fridge filler?
Sure would. An easy drinker too.
Well, I suppose we should show her around a bit, eh? Cheers.
Tom Lingy and Loggie's Peekabrew. Blackman's Brewery are launching Pivot City Lager, a brand new beer for Geelong. And you can be the first to taste it with Tom Lingy and Loggie at Blackman's Brewery Geelong.
This is liquid gold.
Yeah, I know.
Get your tickets for Tom Lingy and Loggie's Peekabrew. Weekdays from 6 a.m. on Krock 955. Pivot City Lager, Geelong brewed, beer for everyone.
Warralilly is a place with a great community vibe we like to call the Warralilly way of life. It all started 10 years ago when we welcomed our first resident. In 2022, we've hit another amazing milestone. 10,000 people who call Warralilly home. To celebrate, we're giving you $10,000 towards your block so you can make your mark at Warralilly, Geelong's fastest growing community. Plus, there'll be free family events throughout spring. To find out more, visit warralilly.com.au. Conditions apply. What does your future look like? Think about your home, your family, your travels and things you enjoy. With good planning and Edge Advisory Partners, your future's looking up. Professional financial planning and advice across Geelong and surrounds by locals like you. Wherever you're at in life, Edge Advisory Partners can help. From your first home or investment to retirement planning and ensuring your wealth.
We're the team partnering with you to make smart money choices.
Edge Advisory Partners. Book an obligation-free appointment today. edgeap.com.au.
There's nothing like a 2-for-1 deal, except Geelong Bank's 1 for 2. Hear us out. Introducing the 1-2 home loan, 1% less for 2 years.
Yep, you heard that right. 1% discount on our reference rate for 2 whole years. You only need a 20% deposit and you'll also get $2,000 cash back.
Top of the ladder and Geelong Bank's 1-2 home loan deal. Is there anything Geelong can't do?
With Geelong Bank, it's as easy as 1-2.
Australian Credit Licence 244351. Standard lending criteria applies. Full terms and conditions at geelongbank.com.au.
Warralilly is a place with a great community vibe we like to call the Warralilly way of life. It all started 10 years ago when we welcomed our first resident. In 2022, we've hit another amazing milestone. 10,000 people who call Warralilly home. To celebrate, we're giving you $10,000 towards your block so you can make your mark at Warralilly, Geelong's fastest growing community. Plus, there'll be free family events throughout spring. To find out more, visit warralilly.com.au. Conditions apply.
Thanks to our number 1 ticket holders, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7.
Now the kick of Danaher is smothered by Cumberland. Cumberland's left foot rolling ball, tracked by Morris Rioli. Can he keep it alive? Oh, wonderful. Step past Coleman and strolled into an open goal.
Ball spills for Berry. He got a bad bounce though. Pickett's there, then tackled by Berry. Pickett got to his feet, but his hand pass is chopped off by Robertson. He handballs over the top. Cameron's got wheels. Cameron's got wheels, and Cameron kicks the goal.
Cameron has got wheels, but gee, the goal of Morris Rioli Jr. was just as good as well. Contenders everywhere for the Lammies Tavern goal of the night. We've got an absolute cracker to open the 2022 Toyota AFL Final Series. It is a 5-point Richmond lead, 14-6-90, playing 13-7-85. It was locked together at 27 at quarter time. 59 played 53 Richmond's way at half time, and then 5 goals apiece in that second quarter, third quarter I should say, for Warragully sees us with a 5-point ball game. Benny, key numbers for Kerrs Hire, please. 100% locally owned and operated in Geelong.
Well, the key number, King, is that the scoring worm looks like the sort of a ECG of a cardiac patient. It is absolutely up and down. That third quarter, I can tell you that the inside 50s was 16-13. Richmond kicked 5-1 from their 16 entries. Brisbane kicked 5 goals, 2. 18 tackles to 11. That was in favour of Brisbane. Contested possession went in favour of the Tigers, 40-33. Nothing in the possessions. They were split down the middle. Uncontested possessions, not a lot in that either. So that suggests that there is close on the scoreboard. Lachie Neale's already had 30 touches and 12 clearances. McStay's had 21. He's worked tirelessly in the ruck. McCluggage, 20 and 4 clearances. Zorko, 18, but he's made some mistakes. Zach Bailey's been really creative with 17 and a goal. For the Tigers, Nankervis is their leading possession winner with 23. Ross has had 20. Short has had 16.
Mark Neal in the experts chair for Multi-Skills. Unleash your potential with construction industry training at Multi-Skills. Check out multiskills.com.au. It's going to the wire.
It is going to the wire, Kingy. Really good at the moment. Lachie Neale, I would think, is dominating the game from a midfield point of view. And both sides are competent, more than competent, when they get it inside 50. Both sides will continue to throw caution to the wind. You would think it's going to go down to the wire. They love to attack off the half-back line through the middle of the ground and just give it everything they've got. Brisbane are a sneaky chance. They just won't go away. 5 points, they'll be really pleased with that. Now, let's just see if the loss of McInerney early will have a telling impact, or can Dan McStay stand up to give Lachie Neale and Zorko and the rest of them the opportunity to get the footy forward. Dustin Martin again starting forward.
A quarter to play. One goes home. The other fights to live another day to play Melbourne or Sydney in a semi-final, we suspect, next Friday night, either at the MCG or the SCG. Who will it be? We'll find out in 30 minutes. For Edge Advisory, the final term, here's Benny.
So McStay against Nankervis. McStay actually didn't even go up, and then it's back heel by Nankervis to Neale, possession 31. He gave it to Archie, who might have returned to half-back. High ball towards centre-half forward. Vlauston tracks it back. Well, Danaher coming the other way. Cameron's dangerous. Cameron is dangerous! Cameron's kicked a goal from nothing. It took 22 seconds. And Brisbane find the front, 14-7-91. Richmond 14-6-90. Cameron's got 3, and that was a goal from absolutely nothing, Mark Neale.
It certainly was, Ben. He is a fantastic footballer. We know for a little guy he can jump and get the ball in the air, but he's so dangerous on the deck. All the players that Brisbane would have wanted to be up and about at the start of the quarter got involved. Neale got the clearance out. Zorko was in there. Danaher crashed the pack. The crumbs went to Charlie Cameron. Fantastic goal. Now all of a sudden he's kicked 3. Looms is a potential match winner, and Broad's done a really good job up until this stage.
50 goals for the season now for Charlie Cameron. Neildy.
Oh, he's had a terrific year. Any other year he'd be All-Australian, but not for Tyson Stengel, your man.
Yeah, gee, people laughed at me when I got all up and about him in that practice match against Richmond.
We did. Well, it was a bit of a strange day. The practice match went for...
It's still going.
5 hours.
Neale, here's Coleman again, but that's too slow off half-back. Good tackle, McIntosh. Right on the edge of the centre wicket table. Here at the Gabba. He's got it. He's just moved his way back to the centre circles, and he looks up, and now he has to kick through outstretched arms. Long ball, 20 out from goal. Coming from with a run was Cumberland. Couldn't get his hands on the ball. Cochin almost dacked. Socket off the ground. Shaw, haven't caught a lot of him. Well done, Coleman. Back with the flight. Just knocked into the path. Neale seems to find room where there is none. Gave it to Coleman. He kicked blindly. It'll be a bouncing ball to the wing. Attacked by Daniel Rioli. Kick inside forward 50. Teammate he wanted fell over. Spilled for Edwards. Had a fumble. Then knocked it towards a teammate. Good tackle laid there by Pryor holding up a Tiger. And that's Lynch. And we will get a ball up. In fact, it was Gibcus coming inside forward 50. We'll get a ball up. About 22 metres out, Benny, from the Tiger goal.
So Nankervis down. Hitting its speed was Cumberland, who tried to claim a free kick. Pryor was dispossessed. Neil with another possession, but that kick from Coleman has gone out on the full, and the resultant free will go to Pickett, who's 38 metres out. He's over the boundary line, so I'm not sure he can go the Stevie J snap. Probably the distance would be a little too much to carry, so he might have to go with a drop punt, which makes this a really, really difficult shot.
If he kicks this, they'll win the game, Benny.
Oh my God, he shanked it. He's actually put it to the top of the square, and Matheson takes an uncontested mark. So not often we say poor skill execution from Pickett, but on that occasion his kick was really skilled.
Yeah, Benny, I've printed off the extra time rules, by the way, too, just in case, as Matheson drives the ball towards the outer wing. Early fly, but a wonderful mark from Cameron. He seemed to just hang in the air and take a Hamlin hanger at half back.
He's in the game, Kingy.
Yeah,
there's absolutely no doubt Richmond won't like that.
Left half back, kick forward of the wing. McCarthy flew early, ball hit the deck, socket off the ground. Bailey, almost Gaelic style to himself. He'll run onto the loose ball and taken high. Brought to ground by Gibkiss, who got him high, and Bailey will win himself a free kick. It was a wonderful pick-up, and the tackle just went above the shoulder.
He's a good player, Bailey.
He's a gun.
He's had a really good second half.
Game 92 for Zach Bailey.
Interviewed him at the draft camp. Lovely kid. Really
he's in the McCluggage class for you, isn't he? You're a bit of a fan.
Oh, yeah. He's just got something about him. He's only playing his 96. He's only 22.
Left forward pocket, man on the mark, 49 from goal. Tight angle, will kick from 51. He puts it out across the face. They'll compete about a metre out from goal. In fact, nobody got hands on it, and it's gone over the pack and through for a behind, and that is another long point. A lot of coaches don't like those long points.
But
it does double the lead.
Well, the fact that nobody even contested that ball was quite extraordinary. It would just dribble through for a score. Lawson kicks it in. Andrews fisted away from Lynch. Martin's there to mop up the spillage. Front and square, gives to Broad. Hurriedly round the corner and nobody there. Only man there is Gardner, who's probably playing on. Martin may have allowed him to go up the field a little, and Gardner. Now, this is where you get Bruce Nankervis, because he's can be a little shaky. He's called to play on and does the right thing, just kicks it long in the direction of McCarthy. Front position, he couldn't mark. Vlausten tried to claim the mark, and in fact, he's going to be paid. So I thought McCarthy might have a piece of it. Kick inboard is to Martin from Vlausten. Now, Martin usually likes to move things quickly. Talk about skill, he's got plenty of it. He goes to half forward, he wants Lynch, just completely outpointed by Andrews. Geez, that's been a really, really, really good battle. Lynch has had his moments, particularly in that third term, but Andrews certainly had his moments, and he had one there.
Harris Andrews, left back pocket. He'll send a kick towards the outer wing, looking for McCarthy to fly. Boston with the spoil, brought the ball to ground. Neil at the front of the pack. The ball will beat them both out of bounds. And a boundary throw in.
These numbers are extraordinary, but we've got 16 minutes of this quarter remaining. Neil's up to 34 possessions and 13 clearances. I don't know what the record in a final is, but I'm tipping he's on it.
Well, I know Simon Black had a cracking grand final, one of the grand finals, somewhere in the 40s.
Well, he's going to get 40 for sure.
Boundary throw in. I reckon that might have been beaten a couple of years ago. We'll have do some research on that one. Curse higher. Here's McCluggage at left half back on the way out. It's a wonderful dinky little kick onto the chest of a teammate. It's McCarthy, who has to kick on his left after starting to go on his right. He got it wide the interchange gates, and it's marked out aside by Zorko. He can come back inboard to McStay, but goes further because McCarthy's unmarked. 60 from goal, just inside the centre square. Swings onto his right boot. Goal square's his target. Flying but not marking was Bailey. And Pickett in the goal square. You're allowed to do that. They're appealing for the free kick, but once you're inside the goal square and players in your vicinity, you can't concede a behind like that. And that's what he did, and the margin is 3. Gee, if that ball had got out the back, Charlie Cameron was all over the goal line, Hildy.
Yes, he was. They're under a little bit of siege here, Richmond. If Brisbane want to win, they'll have to kick a goal or two with this momentum.
Broad kicks it over the top to Pickett. Just getting on top in the midfield. McCluggage, Neil, Zorko, Bailey. All getting plenty of it. Kick along the line is marked by Ross, who plays on. He kicks a low ball. That's a good one. Low down. Rewalt marks. Inches in from the boundary, right on the paint of 50.
It's interesting, we got a good insight then to what Richmond do when the momentum's against them. They kept the ball so tight to the boundary, didn't handball, just little chip kicks. They've had 4 or 5 kicks in this passage of play. Finishes with Rewalt marking the ball right on the boundary line.
So he's getting some advice from the lady immediately behind him who...
It's not encouragement.
No, I don't think she's sort of suggesting that he's going to be skew-iffy. He'll take his very best effort, but it's not beyond him. Runs out on the arc, goes with a long ball! Rewalt has kicked an absolute ripper. Goodness me, Jack Rewalt's got 2. And just when his side needed him, he delivers. Against the flow of play early in this final term. And again, the Tigers lead by 3 points. 15-6-96. Brisbane are 14-9-93. And this fourth quarter, thanks to Edge Advisory Partners, we're the team partnering with you, making smart money choices.
Gee, we've been treated to some wonderful football this evening. Some of the shots at goal have been absolutely outstanding. Revolt's done a couple. There's been... I'm just amazed at how well Richmond just took all the speed out of the game. Brisbane on top, using the middle of the ground. They refused to go there. They didn't play on, kept their heads. 4 or 5 really short passes down the outer wing and a great kick for goal. Great team goal.
Advantage Richmond for the moment. Bounce in the middle, McStay. He wins the tap this time beautifully to Neil, and Neil will send the lines inside 50. 15 out from goal. No mark. Hipwood front of the pack. It's going to be a free kick.
Oh, no.
Advantage paid. And Danaher has kicked the goal.
What's happened? Kingy, bit of Gus Mercurio.
Yeah, Gus Mercurio. Danaher's kicked the goal, and they're back in front, and they lead by 3 as Davey hands me a much-needed water.
I think that past the sauce has crept up under your chin there, Kingy, that was spilled on your jacket. And... Neildy said, oh no, because Danaher took the play on advantage and then made it a difficult shot.
He certainly did. Ben, he's 203 centimetres or something, Joey. He's a left footer, so he's running at the right-hand point post to accept the handball receive after getting a teammate free kick at the top of the square. But anyway, it's a goal, and I suppose that's all that matters, and Brisbane have a 3-point lead. This is just a seesawing game's terrific. Kingy, you're right. No, you're not right at all. You've been garmied on the top and garmied inside. It's 99 plays 96, 14 minutes to go. Now, Dave's going down with a cough. Ben, this could be the last people standing.
Let's just hope they don't flash back to that man celebrating in the third term, because that could cause all sorts. And Neildy's now coughing, so this is officially a COVID ward here at the K-Rock Hub. Rioli working against Wilmot the first gamer. Rioli ripped it away, but McCluggage is there. His little kick round the middle. Who's in there? Pickett did well, took the ball, broke 2 tackles, and then handballs. Oh, Bolter got roundhoused by Cameron. Goodness me, that was a real WWF sort of Randy Macho Man Savage type style. It got him right round the chops. Ball to Ross, now to Pickett at half forward. Pickett on the left, and Rewalt's marked again. About 4 metres from where he kicked the previous goal. This time he's about 3 metres in from the boundary though, so the angle is opened up a tad and he'll run out to kick this drop punt. But this is an opportunity for the lead to change again. Jack Rewalt, he's kicked 2 goals tonight. And he's kicked just a lazy 754 in his career. 3 steps, Rewalt's kick is another goal. What a star he is, Jack Rewalt. At 33 years of age, when his team needed him, he's delivered 2 wonderful set shots. And Richmond lead by 3 points, 16-6-102. Brisbane are 15-9-99, fourth quarter, K-Rock style, thanks to Edge Advisory Partners.
Oh, well, you just can't speak up some of these players enough, and Jack Rewalt's one. Ben, that's a really good description. 33, he's played in 3 premierships. His season's on the line in the elimination final. He's kicked 2 goals from the boundary line in the space of 3 minutes. This is just a wonderful game of footy. It is an absolute shootout here.
Geelong-based financial planners, that's Edge Advisory, specialising in retirement planning, superannuation investments and insurance. And we've got an absolute special right now to open up the 2022 Toyota AFL Final Series. We haven't had a game in a final series where both teams have scored 100 since the elimination final of 2015, but you'd suspect that Brisbane will find at least another behind. But Richmond are going to go forward here. Pickett will run onto the loose footy. Got to 52. Shared it with Bolton. Outside of the right boot. Won't have the carry. It'll bounce and go through for a behind. In fact, it's a free kick. And it's going to go against Lynch to Andrews for a hold. So the margin stays at 3. Harris Andrews with it. Left back pocket, long way from home. Sees 35 players ahead of him.
Goes long in the direction of Danaher. 3 deep, couldn't mark. Ground level Rioli. Had a little fumble. Cochin goes in. He too had a fumble. Ball's kicked forward by Brisbane. That was from Danaher, and it's only as far as Vlauston, though, who marks. Just forward of the wing, Vlauston. One of the AFL's better defenders. Vlauston goes into the pocket. Payne's there. Coleman with the rove. Handball's over the top. He's got Pryor. Pryor on the left. Really important ball here. Zorko's got a couple to beat. One of those Tigers fell over. In fact, it's McStay. He tapped it forward. Only as far as Gibbs, the indoor plant. And he wasn't watered on that occasion. And the ball has gone out for a throw-in. Broadcast wing. This game is so delicately poised. 3 points is the margin. One of these teams' seasons finishes in 11 minutes and 43 seconds of game time.
Yeah, it doesn't seem fair, does it? Boundary throw-in. Tap down Miller. He'll ricochet back to him, but he had a fumble. Matheson knocked it towards Pryor. Now it's going to spill. McCarthy's coming to the game a bit. Kick inside forward, 50. Robinson back with the fly. That's a wonderful mark taken by Baker. Never averted his gaze from the Sherrin. Now he's kicked wide, though. He's going to ask a bit at Tarrant. Coming the other way. Berry deflected it away and into the pocket and got a stoppage in the left forward pocket. Well played by Jared Berry. Took the risk to come off his man and impact the contest, and did so by getting a boundary throw-in in the left forward pocket at the Lions' end of the ground. They trail by 3, 102.99. Port Phillip Ferry's time clock's gone 14 minutes in this final term of K-Rock football. Danaher and Miller to do the ruck work. Miller the tap down, front of the pack. Cochin lost it in the tackle, was too slow. Neal, slick hands. Matheson, a high floating ball. 15 out from goal. They'll compete. Ball off hands. Rolls to the right forward pocket and out of bounds in front of Mitch Robinson and also young Pryor. And a boundary throw-in will ensure.
I don't know whether Robertson has actually done a job on Baker. It's gone with him for quite a bit of the game. Baker's only had 7 effective disposals. Just keep an eye on that, Neildy. I think he might be standing alongside Baker now at this stoppage, and they've had the job on him for most of the night. From that stoppage, the ball is fisted forward and back out.
It would appear to be that way, Ben. So from that point of view, he's done a really good job. This is interesting. This is important for Brisbane. Their work around the stoppages has been really good all year. If they can't score, as we heard by Jed Adcock before the game, the next best thing, get a stoppage in your front half.
I don't know what the record for clearances in a final is, but Lockie Neal's up to 15.
Oh, that's fair.
Ball on the deck, taken by Pickett on the left, round the corner to the wing, but it's going to come back. Should have been marked by Wilmot.
And it wasn't, and it's knocked forward for the Tigers by Rioli into the path of Cumberland. Cumberland sees something he likes inside 50, and the mark taken by Lynch. Moments in a game, Neildy. Young Wilmot couldn't complete the mark that would have seen his team go back inside forward 50. They go the other way, and Lynch has a shot at goal.
Yeah, yes, moments in a game. And the young fella did the right thing by going for the mark. Unfortunately for him, couldn't do it. Lynch, who is normally an outstanding kick for goal,
has kicked 3 this evening. Has kicked now 45-19 from 18 games against the Lions. Actually make it 19, so 2.5 a game. So he's sitting around that, if not better, tonight now. He's kicked 3. This for a very handy 9-point lead. It starts right. It stays right. The margin is 4. 16-7-103 plays 15-9-99 in this final quarter of K-Rock football, thanks to Edge Advisory. We're the team partnering with you, making smart money choices.
Coleman's kick into McCluggage, who just goes down the line in the direction of Pryor. Gibkiss was up, ball on the deck. Robinson goes back, tapped it to Danaher, who gives to Pryor now. Pryor on the left, he goes down the line. He wanted a big stay. Ball gets out the back, won't stay in the field of play. But Brisbane did well there to work it from their defensive end up to half forward and gives their side a chance to reset around a stoppage. The likes of Neal, McCluggage, Bailey, Zorko can all do damage. Margin is 4. There's still 9.5 minutes of game time remaining.
Danaher, Nankervis, it gets out the back. Bailey will pounce on the loose footy. Got through a would-be tackler and gave a handball back to Danaher. Danaher checked his kick into the pocket on the bounce, running out of room. Hipwood. I reckon he caught between two options there, Neil. He went over the head of the first and too short of the second.
Yeah, Joey's, I suppose, cuteness, if you like, with the ball is something that he's not renowned for. We couldn't see what was deep, but you would normally see Joe Danaher get that to the top of the square.
Left forward pocket boundary throw in. Danaher, Nankervis. Neither were a clear winner. Double-fisted forward. McIntosh went through the arms of Neil, but fell for Hipwood. Hipwood tries to snap a ball back to the top of the square. They'll compete in the left forward pocket. Defensive spoil. Tarrant. McIntosh eluded him. Matheson a handball into the pocket. Wanted Dev Robertson. Missed him. And he took it on the bounce out of bounds. Boundary throw in left forward pocket. He looks absolutely stuffed. There's Reece Matheson. First final for him, I believe. And just in the end, the handball did Robertson no favours and he had to see it out of bounds. Boundary thrown left forward pocket. About 20 around from the left hand behind post, Benny.
So a throw in. What can the Lions conjure? McStay against Nankervis. Broad. Broke the tackle of Cameron a little easily. His kick round the corner is a good one because it's marked by McIntosh. So Camden McIntosh, real spare parts player for the Tigers, playing his 146th game of AFL, 28-year-old WA boy. Goes down the line, Lynch front position. Andrews with the spoil. Payne got it back to Andrews, then to Neil. Possession number 37 for him. He opens it up nicely. Got Archie. He goes over the top. McCluggage wants to come back inboard this way, that way. On the left, he kicks a low one at McCarthy. Sliding to terra firma, takes the mark. 45 out, 45-degree angle. Link McCarthy already kicked one, a chance to kick his second and restore the lead again for the Brisbane Lions.
Just that kick from Lockie Neal out of traffic. His vision is so good. He saw McCluggage and then the game just broke open for the Lions.
So McCarthy, the former Cat, on the runway, comes in. He has pulled it to the left. Good effort, just missing. Brings up the ton, so both sides have reached the ton. Margin is 3 in front of 35,013 fans at the Gabba, fourth quarter, thanks to Edge Advisory Partners.
Got to go back to 2015 in the elimination final between the Dogs and Adelaide. Last time two teams kicked 100 in a final. Into the right back pocket. The driving kick comes towards the wing. It came from Rioli. It's fisted away by Andrews. Big, decisive volleyball spike. Out of bounds, boundary throw in. 103, 100, 7.5 minutes to play on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock. Port Phillip Ferries, the only way to travel between Geelong and Port Arlington to Docklands. There'll be a big crowd on the ferry heading up Saturday for Geelong and Collingwood. McCluggage, was he taken high by Pickett after roving the boundary throw and the umpire deemed he wasn't? And we'll get a ball up. Forward of the wing, left half forward, favouring the Lions. Danaher, Nankervis. Nankervis, wonderful tap down, but straight to Zorko, who jammed it on the boot. Inside forward 50. Defensive spoil. Brings the ball to ground in a dangerous spot. Baker was clean. Handball on the bounce. Missed Rioli initially. Then he fumbled. Time to recover. Did well. Handball over the top. Baker provided him with an option. Then jammed a left foot kick that got it towards half back. And they'll clear now. And they've got it to Ross, who's got it on the broadcast wing or just back of. But they got out of trouble well there, the Tigers, Benny.
They did. That was well worked by Baker, who's got it again. He's run on and taken the mark. Broadcast wing, Baker. His underground kick before was fantastic. So he goes down the line. He goes into the pocket. He wants Lynch. In fact, it's Miller who just removed Gardner. Oh, then Miller's kick's an absolute howler. Oh, Starcevic did well. Cumberland failed to tackle. Starcevic was dumped after he kicked. Ball's down the line. Richmond looked to have the numbers. Baker's lifted in this last couple of minutes. His hand pass had too much pepper on it for Ross. And it's out for a throw-in just forward of the wing for the Tigers, who lead by 3. Time starting to tick away. 6.5 minutes remaining on the Port Phillip Ferries time clock in this elimination final. It's been an absolute belter to start the final series in 2022.
Nankervis found it on the ground after working Danaher off the ball in the ruck contest. Now it's with Pickett. He's got it on true centre wing. Options are plenty inside forward 50. Which way is he heading? Towards Lynch. Double fist to Coleman. Off the hands of the pack, Cumberland. Coleman with a wonderful tackle bringing him to ground. Going nowhere. And we'll get a ball up just inside the left forward pocket. Richmond in attack. They lead by 3.
it's just turned into a kicking game for the moment. No one really looking for the kick mark play. The handball will see. It'll be interesting to see if one of the teams tries to do that to get the next score.
Mark Neal from multi-skills. Neal from the stoppage. Dart Gardner. Well, he went to kick and he had a fresh airing. That might have been not the worst result. If he had kicked it, he might have put down the full.
Yeah.
Instead, it spills out of bounds in the left forward pocket. For the Tigers, who are in attack, they lead by 3.
See, Brisbane got a lot of numbers around this ball. It's leaving 1 or 2 out the back for Richmond.
Well, Miller just, for the ruck, he took it out of the ruck and then tried to handball it to Nankervis. Won't see that too often. His hand pass had too much mustard on it and it's gone out for a throw-in again. So Neal's up to 38 touches. McCluggage 24, Nankervis the leading possession winner. Kerr's higher for the Tigers with 26. Ross has had 23. So
100% locally owned and operated in Geelong, Ben.
Throw in. Taken again by Pickett. Pickett from 50. High snap. It'll land in the pocket. Andrews is there with the fist. Ball on the deck. Archie. Lynch tries to mop up the spillage. Then he breaks the tackle. Brisbane should have the numbers. Archie will gather just in front of the boundary. Handball to McCarthy. Look how you're gone, Link. Hold the ball. Run down by Edwards.
He had not as much time as he thought, Neildy.
No, certainly not. That's really good defensive pressure. That's just terrific stuff by Shane Edwards.
The veteran, the Medi sub, the surprise Medi sub into the game for Prestia. Lowered the eyes and found Baker, who was a hit-up lead. He marked 49 from goal, so the distance would test him if he was to have a shot. He's now pointing towards that. The umpire's saying, no, get moving. I don't think you can make the distance. So he sends it on its way and he's put it out on the full, and the umpire was proven right. And that's a bit of a relief there for the Lions, who'll take the free kick. But they are a long way from home. They trail by 3. 103 Richmond, 100 Brisbane. Final term, Edge Advisory Partners. The team partnering with you, making smart money choices. And Coleman wants to open up the play. Broadcast side with a kick that'll bounce and sit nicely, and they're away through McCluggage.
They are. McCluggage can go over the top, and he's got Berry. So Berry, he hasn't got much on Berry, so he has to hold things up. Leeds coming left, right and centre. Like a murder investigation down there. So Berry wants to come inboard, and he does. That's a really good kick. It opens it up for Zorko. Zorko wants to play on. He does so successfully by hand to Starcevic. Coleman, he's got a raking left foot. He uses it. Inside forward 50. Ball there. Cameron brought right with him. Close to the boundary. Will it stay in? Cameron does his best. Handballs to Bailey. Bailey on his left. Centering ball. They'll set and fly. McCarthy! McCarthy's Oh, it's a free kick to Tarrant. Goodness me, who was that against? Danaher's given away a free. McCarthy had marked 25 out directly in front.
Tarrant brings it broadcast side. Vlosten is marked left half back under pressure. He'll kick and drive it towards the wing, and all alone marking is Lynch. What a let off there for the Tigers. McCarthy would have put the Lions in front with under 3.5 to play. Instead, his team trails by 3. 3:40 on the clock. Port Phillip Ferries. Lynch sends it inside forward 50. What's he got? There's got to be surely a free kick against Morris Rioli Jr. there. Going to Dev Robertson. No, not paid. Now he kicks. Wants a man running on Edwards, but it didn't have enough carry, and well played Pryor. Getting back, cutting it off. Giving it off to Rich. Rich tucking it under the arm, nowhere to go, runs his full measure now, just drives the ball and hopes for the best.
Too far.
He's run too far. Well, it's unravelling here for the Lions. He had nothing on, he just kept wandering forward. And in the end, he took too many steps. Now the free kick will go to Edwards, 60 out. Oh, Danaher just got up too early.
Gee. That's almost...
Well, if McCarthy doesn't actually come across and mark it, Danaher probably gets a hand on it.
Yeah.
That's what stops it getting to Danaher is McCarthy.
Gee, we've seen a lot of those not paid.
Inboard kick from Edwards to Vlosten, and he goes to Short. Now, Short is a thumping kick. He's 55 out, and he's signalling he wants to have a shot. He lets fly with a long ball. Lynch! Lynch is marked! 3 metres out. Not much of an angle. And this to make the margin 9, and there'll be about less than 2 minutes remaining once this ball sails through the big white ones. He's kicked 3-1 Lynch. This to make it 4-1. 7 between he and Rewalt. That's match-winning stuff. They've put him round on the angle, but you would think a player of his class. He comes in, he goes the banana, and he has kicked a point. I think he's missed. It's a behind. The umpire down there, Louis Thoreau. The umpire called it a goal. We need to... Oh, you're not going to see from these cameras.
He's kicked it so high they don't cover that off.
How can you possibly adjudicate on that? These cameras are situated in Little River. The game is in the Gabba.
Wow.
It's on top of the post.
It's gone over the post, isn't it? It's a point. Oh. You cannot... If he's killed at a goal, you cannot say one way or another off that vision anything. That is so inconclusive. Even Johnny Cochran's not presenting that at the trial though.
We couldn't hear what was said from the feed.
A goal.
No.
It's a point.
Oh. Wow.
Well, the initial reaction was it was a behind around the ground.
Well, Lynch didn't celebrate.
No.
So he should just say that I didn't kick that because he didn't celebrate.
Rich drives it, middle of the ground.
Down the middle. Nankervis slaps it forward. Neil, can he get another touch? He can't. Richmond working desperately. Brisbane trying to clear. Matheson does out Coleman. Coleman gets his left foot to it. Bounces into the middle. Full-chested. McStay gives to McCluggage. Now to Neil. His kick is partially smothered. Zorko tries to slap it forward. Starcevic had his kick smothered. Zorko again off the ground. Bolton. It's frenetic stuff. Handball from Hipwood. Out to Coleman. They need poise. He showed it on the left. He goes into the pocket. And Bailey is marked. 48 metres out, Zach Bailey. I'm not sure he's got the distance in him. He's hard up on the boundary. He needs a lead, I'd say, or a miracle. One doesn't follow the other. He runs around on the arc. He sinks the slipper into it. It's going to land top of the square. Richmond have got numbers, and it's a goal. It's a goal. I don't know who's kicked it.
Danaher.
John Klug, I think. Danaher has kicked the goal. Oh, my goodness me. Richmond had 17 players in the square. It bobbled to Danaher. He couldn't believe it. He kicked the goal, and Brisbane are in front, and I'm going to cardiac arrest.
Oh, that is so... Oh, this is just amazing. That's great work by Joey Danaher, made up for the one that he gave away before. So you're right, Ben, he was 1-4 in that goal square somehow, 203 centimetres. He got boot to ball. There was not one Richmond defender who was actually goal side of him when he had the footy. That's just great play by by Brisbane. 1 minute to go. 2 points in front.
Wow, it's a long time with the 6-6-6 though if you don't get the clearance.
Oh yeah, this is where Lachie Neale's been fantastic all night.
What does McStay do here? Does he become the fifth or the fourth player and let Nankervis make a decision?
No, he does what he's done all night. He's just got to jump and try and jump into him, King, and see what happens.
Bounce in the middle. It favours Nankervis. He jumps into him. Nankervis tries to grab it out of the ruck. Bolton over it. Matheson out of trouble. Handball missed its target. McCarthy. McCarthy went to go off the ground. Couldn't get a handle on the ball. Ball's inside 50 for the Lions. Gloston wrapped up in a two-man tackle. Stoppage. 46 on the clock.
You've just got to belt it your way if you get the chance and just go for broke.
So key clearance here. Sonsi overran it. Bolton tries to run onto it. Great tackle by Neale. Ripped him to ground. Bailey. It's going to be a free kick, is it? No. Bailey kicks it forward. Brisbane have got the peel wrapped up in a tackle. Is a line on the bottom of that pack, and there'll be no prior opportunity there. So another 17 seconds. Ticks off the clock. 26 remaining. Take us home, Kingy.
Clear takeaway needed. Nankervis taps it into space. Bailey dived on the footy, then knocked it forward. Tigers got to get hold of it. They can't. McStay sends it inside forward 50. Need to be perfect now. The Richmond Football Club. Broad inside defensive 50 a bounce. Across the face of his defensive goal. They won't have time. This is going to be a famous Brisbane Lions win. It's in the left back pocket. The kick across the face of goal. The siren will be upon us. Brisbane are going to advance, and the Tigers are done for 2022. The Lions with one heartfelt win. Have you seen better? Elimination final style. The Lions in a thriller. 16-10-106. Richmond 16-8-104. The Lions advance to take on Melbourne or Sydney in a semi-final. recent finals record has been called into question, the Lions. But without Oscar McInerney for 95% of the contest, a makeshift ruckman in Dan McStay with some support from Joe Danaher, and a Herculean performance from Lachie Neale, and the Brisbane Lions survive and advance. Richmond, their season's done. Damien Hardwick can only look on in disappointment in the Richmond coach's box. But Mark Neale, that's a win full of heart from the Brisbane Lions this evening at the Gabba.
Oh, outstanding, Kingy. They've got every right to be so proud of what they've achieved this evening. That's just superb.
Let's see if we can tap into the Channel 7 feed. Post-match interviews for Geelong Marine World. Chris Fagan is speaking down boundary side.
Well, our blokes have stuck at it all night, didn't they? And they wouldn't go away. You know, you think about it, we lose our ruckman in the first 2 minutes, and we found a way. I'm so pleased for this group because we've been under a lot of pressure about our finals record. We were really brave tonight, and we can hold our heads up high, as can Richmond. It was a super game.
How good is September? And another sellout here at the Gabba. Third game in a row. This is unbelievable scenes down here.
Yeah, it is. If it's going to be like this all September, the AFL is going to be pretty happy. But brilliant for our fans. You know, we clocked up 43,000 members this week, which is brilliant for our club. And from the turn up tonight and see that after a disappointing performance against Melbourne a couple of weeks ago, it's I'm really pleased for them.
Right on, Fags. We'll see you next week.
Thanks very much.
Chris Fagan there on Channel 7 speaking with Abby Holmes, thanks to Geelong Marine World, powered by Suzuki Marine. Port Alton Road at Moorlap. Is that it for Shane Edwards? Is it the last time we'll see Dusty in a Richmond jumper? Trent Cotchin, Jack Revolt, what does the future hold for those guys? And it looks like Shane Edwards, I think it was actually already confirmed that Shane Edwards wasn't going on. So his career is done. And what a wonderful career too. Three-time premiership player, 303 games. He finishes equal 81st for the moment, along with Mickey O'Loughlin and Chris Langford for games played in VFL-AFL history. And it's the earliest we've seen the Tigers exit the finals.
Everybody looks absolutely spent down
in 6 years. Here's Tuna Cluggage with Abby Holmes for Geelong Marine.
Incredible. Everyone was out on their legs at the end, and I think the fans, we probably were disappointed with the showing we put in last week, so to be able to do this week, and one of the best games of the year, I think it was just amazing.
What's going through your mind? You've got 5 minutes to go, you're 3 points down. Obviously, Joe Danaher hadn't kicked that goal yet, but what's going through your mind in the dying stages of this game?
I think we've had a lot of experience in close finals the last few years, so I think it was just a want not to lose again, and last year we went out pretty heartbreakingly to the Dogs, so Joey stepped up when we needed him, and I'm really proud of him.
Game 150 as well, it's quite fitting, isn't it, that he slots the winner?
Definitely, it's awesome. It was sad to see Big O go down at the start there in game 100, both being great for our club, so it's fitting that Joey kicked the last goal.
Congratulations, amazing effort.
Thanks very much.
I'm just interested to see what they do in terms of Shane Edwards getting a send-off in terms of a guard of honour or similar, whether Brisbane will be able to produce that. I think they're heading over in that direction, Neody, and that's what's happening now.
Yep, so that is exactly what has happened, Kingy. So that's good. That's good work by the Brisbane players after being so excited by that finals win.
So the Lions will make their way through to a semi-final. You would suspect Oscar McInerney won't be playing in that, but it opens the door for Darcy Fort.
Absolutely, they'll need a ruckman because they'll go back to they have played all year except tonight with the three tall forwards, so they'll want that back.
Charlie Cameron now having a chat with
kept going. I guess finals, so give it your elimination. So pretty proud of the boys' efforts, and obviously the crowd got behind us, even though it was a tough battle with Brisbane, but unbelievable.
What did that change for you structurally, losing your ruckman in the first 5 minutes of the game?
Well, Macca, I think, had to play 70% of the ruck. So as forwards, we had one tall at one point and 5 small. So we just told Eric and Joey if it was one of them just to get the ground, and then obviously our smalls are pretty good. So once the ball was at the ground, we were pretty electric. So speechless.
And Lachie Neale, All-Australian for the third time, is another Brownlow favourite. What's it like to have him running through the midfield?
It's pretty unbelievable. What a player he is, and I think Marlon went to him at the end there. It shows a bit of I guess what damage he did in the first, I guess, 4 quarters, start of the four quarters. So unbelievable player, but yeah, speechless.
Right on, Charlie. Go and soak this up.
Got next week now, so relax. Thank you everyone for coming out. Enjoyed it.
There's Charlie Cameron speaking with Abby Holmes, thanks to Geelong Marine World. Geelong Marine World powered by Suzuki Marine. 5th quarter for Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made 2-sided mattresses made to outlast any other. I don't think you can buy the Sonsi at Sandman Mattress Factory.
It's got extra springs in it.
So
39 possessions and 15 clearances, 21 contested possessions, 6 inside 50s and 3 tackles for Lockie Neal. That's 3 votes.
Disappointment for the Tigers, whose season comes to an earlier than hoped for conclusion. And it's off to the MCG or the SCG for the Brisbane Lions. Oscar McInerney, unfortunately, with his nose rearranged.
It's not difficult to miss that proboscis either. It's
especially not now.
It's an extraordinary arrangement.
Especially the swelling that would have, I suspect there'll be a couple of black eyes that will come with that for Oscar McInerney. So his best hope is that the Lions can get through a preliminary final, a preliminary final for him to play again this year. But Darcy Ford, who was an emergency tonight, the former Cat, South Barwon product. Neildy?
South Barwon, you beauty. Excellent work. So he can maybe finish off here and then just make his way over to McDonald Reserve.
We'll probably play a little bit inconsistent, but we strung together some good quarters. So tonight we look back at our finals against them in the past, and we really went to school on them, and we knew it was just going to be a pound the rock game all night. And Joe Danaher, hey, what a signing!
Unbelievable, wasn't it, the winning goal from him? But what was the mindset of the group coming in? You said that you had been a little bit inconsistent in the lead into finals, but obviously you really want to be hitting your straps in the lead in.
Yeah, we spoke about that. And I think for us it was just all about getting back to our process, and sort of lost that a little bit against Melbourne, which, they were the far better side on the night. But I don't know, training throughout the week was really upbeat. We were really positive. We just knew we had to bring our best, and we probably did it. But in moments we did, and that's something that Richmond's beaten us in the past. So really pleased in that 3rd quarter we were able to hang in there. I think the margin got out to about 19 points. We sort of grounded it back, and it was sort of level at 3-quarter time, and we just took the game on, and wow, that was unbelievable.
How much belief does this group have? Because you've obviously featured in final series the last 4 years, which is an unbelievable effort as well. But what, I guess, is going to take you to that next level in season 2022?
Well, I think tonight's definitely going to help with that. Obviously, there's been a little bit written about us and about not performing in finals, but tonight I thought everyone played their role and did their job, and I guess that's the blueprint for us. We know we're not going to blow teams out of the water. It's finals, it's a different ball game, it's a new season, and we'll take a lot from that tonight, both positives and negatives, and we'll look forward to playing next week.
And I bet you're very happy as well to be on the winning side of this rivalry that you've built over the last few years with Richmond as well.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, they've had our measure for a number of years, and we just couldn't get past them, and we sort of turned the table on that the last few times. I think it's about 3-3 now the last 6 times, so that's great. But yeah, we just want to keep playing our best footy, and we're slowly doing that, which is great, and performances like tonight would certainly help.
Well done, Skid. See you next week.
Yes, Dane Zorko there, thanks to Geelong Marine. We're going to be talking very shortly with Link McCarthy about the performance tonight by the Brisbane Lions. We talked to him about being robbed of the chance to be the hero himself, as Joey Danaher had the free kick paid against him. So they're about to make their way off the ground down into the rooms. We'll take the song and then we'll have a chat with Link as part of this 5th quarter, thanks to the Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made 2-sided mattresses made to outlast any other.
They're going to talk about that goal.
Oh, I've no doubt.
The point,
was overruled.
That was because the goal umpire called it a goal, and on the vision we saw, you could not possibly overturn that.
So I'm sure, no doubt, that will cast some shadow over the end margin, and will be a discussion point. We'll pick it up tomorrow night ahead of Melbourne and Sydney, when we're on air from 7 o'clock tomorrow night at the MCG. And then, of course, the Cats and Collingwood from 3 o'clock on Saturday, also at the G. And then we are off to West Oval Sunday for GFL action, first semi-final between Leopold and Colac. We're just following the lines down into the room where we'll bring you the song and then take a break and have a chat with Link McCarthy from down in the victorious Lions room. Graham Birchall there, who knows all about final success during the running following his retirement from the Lions. And they're just making their way through now past the slapping of hands and down into the warm-up area. And some first-time finalists for the Lions tonight, including Darcy Wilmot. What a debut for the number 44, pick 16 last year's national draft. The youngest player in the competition, won't turn 19 until December 31. And he's played in a final, a winning final on debut. So what a way to start for him. As Marlon Pickett did, as Andrew Hooper for the Western Bulldogs did, as Dermot Brereton did back in 1982. Amongst some of those to debut in a final in recent history. So players just huddling up for the song. And here it is, the Brisbane Lions. Through to the semi-final, fifth quarter for the Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made two-sided mattresses made to outlast any other a break. Thanks to APCO Cafe 24/7. Win a Weber barbecue at APCO Cafe 24/7. Live, breathe, Krock footy.
Thanks to our number one ticket holder, APCO. Fueled by APCO Cafe 24/7. Tom, Lingy and Loggy on Krock 955.
It's much lighter in the mornings now. I do notice that. Yeah.
No, we'll see, not for us.
No.
I'm still driving in the dark and always will. It must be nice when you start at 7, though.
That's your cataracts, though. That's a cataract-related issue.
Everybody get off the road when Log's driving.
Yeah.
Tom, Lingy and Loggy. 6 a.m. weekdays. Krock 955.
Hamlin Homes, proudly Geelong's largest locally owned and operated builder. Distinctively familiar with the region's lifestyles, landscapes and suppliers. Distinctive in history, having served the local area since 1983. Distinctive in our ongoing commitment to the local community. Distinctive in design, taking inspiration from the local environment to create beautifully unique homes that reflect our clients' aspirations. Hamlin Homes, distinctively local. hamlin.com.au.
At home, on the work site, in the office, there are some big cleaning problems you just don't want to deal with.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Steamatic has real solutions to your cleaning problems. Graffiti removal, kitchen canopy cleaning, blasting services or the big industrial jobs, they're equipped to handle it all. Steamatic, a standout job every time and on standby when you need them most.
Don't panic. Call Steamatic.
Essington Street, Grovedale. Visit steamatic.com.au.
Hi, I'm Patrick Dangerfield. When you're on the highway to the danger zone, make sure it's in a Rex Gorell new or used car. Rex Gorell just can't be beaten. They top the ladder when it comes to range, service, value and quality. So you'll only get the best when you buy your car from Rex Gorell. Family owned and committed to Geelong. Do what I've done. Join the winning team at Rex Gorell.
Rex Gorell, Fine Street on the Trobe Terrace, Geelong. Visit rexgorell.com.au. LMCTs 1308 8349.
It's footy finals fever at APCO Cafe 24/7. To celebrate, get into APCO for your chance to win one of 5 Weber barbecues, plus a footy finals prize pack, including a slab of Pepsi Max Lemon, 24 4 and 20 pies, and 12 packs of Smith's chips. Just buy a specially marked 4 and 20 Pepsi, Schweppes or Smith's product to enter. So get footy finals fever and win a Weber at APCO Cafe 24/7. We've got you.
T's and C's apply. It's on now. Harvey Norman Bedding's Australian-made mattress floor stock clearance. This is the time to get an amazing bargain on discontinued floor stock mattresses. Shop from all of our big-name brands like Sleepmaker, Sealy and King Coil. Upgrade your old mattress and save with amazing bargains on floor stock mattresses. The Australian-made mattress floor stock clearance at Harvey Norman Bedding now. Easy parking at 2 Geelong locations, Princes Highway, Corio and Warn Ponds.
Looking to buy a boat?
See the Bellarine Peninsula's largest indoor display of new boats at Geelong Marine World. Family owned and operated, Geelong Marine World has a huge range of fiberglass and aluminium boats powered by Suzuki, the ultimate outboard motor, ranging from 2.5 to 350 horsepower. Finance and insurance available and supported by an authorised Suzuki service centre. Cruising, fishing or fun. Get out on the water with Geelong Marine World. Port Arlington Road, Moolap. GeelongMarineWorld.com.au.
This Father's Day, I know exactly where we're going shopping. At Dad's favourite place, Harvey Norman. Dad really wants a new coffee machine. Harvey Norman has lots to choose from. I think he'd like a new 75-inch TV more. What about a new electric shaver? Mum really likes it when Dad's clean shaven. Or maybe he'd prefer a new soundbar for his TV. Dad really loves his music.
See the range at Harvey Norman for some great Father's Day gift ideas. Princess Highway, Corio and Warren Ponds.
Love you, Dad. Go!
Hitting G-Town after the game? You know where you're going to end up, don't you? Lammy's. So why not start the night strong? There's nothing that's more iconically Geelong than our very own Lammy's sesh. Get your weekly dose of great tunes all night long. Give yourself something to talk about Monday. And remember, never, ever lamb alone. Lammy's Tavern, open from 9 p.m. every Friday to Sunday, with free entry before 10 p.m. Lammy's, you know where to go.
Thanks to our number one ticket holders, ABCO. Fueled by ABCO Cafe 24/7.
Fifth quarter, thanks to the Sandman Mattress Factory. Sleep better with the Sandman's locally made two-sided mattresses made to outlast any other. Link McCarthy to join us shortly on K-Rock Football, thanks to Geelong Marine World. Tonight it was the Brisbane Lions, 16-10-106. Richmond 16-8-104. We are now down to 7 and we have 8 games of football left for the year to determine the 2022 Toyota AFL Premier. Lachie Neale was absolutely outstanding tonight. He had some stunning numbers. I suspect he'll be very close to the Steamatic standout. But Neildy, they have some changes to make.
Yeah, what have they got? So they got Jared Lyons. If he's available, he plays. Cam Rayner, he plays.
Noah Answorth.
No, okay. So, yeah, they got a few. You would think the young fella who made his debut, Wilmot, so he was good, but I don't know if he survives if those players come back. Rayner will play forward and through the midfield, so they'll look at someone in there. Tonight, the person who played that role, didn't play his role, who played forward was Mitch Robinson. Yeah. He played a defensive forward game, whether or not they want to do that, depending on who they play. So they will look at him.
Archie started as the medi sub.
Yeah, so it might be Archie and the young fella Wilmot. And you said there's a third one.
Pryor might be the one that might get...
Pryor probably comes out for Ainsworth if he's available.
Yeah, and then you throw... Well, Ainsworth's available because it's suspension.
Right. So then McInerney out and Darcy Ford in. So they'd probably make 4 changes for the next game, I'd say.
Yeah, so it's going to be some selection decisions that will have to be made. But the good thing is I'll get an 8-day break to the Lions. They're probably going to need every bit of it because it was some sort of frantic encounter, Neildy.
It was frantic. I'm just having a bit off the KFC Twitter. K-Rock's own Anthony Mithen, long-time Richmond supporter. It'd be fair to say Mitho's not in agreement with the score review system currently.
No,
evening, Anthony.
You wouldn't have thought. I just find it astonishing that they could actually overturn that. I mean, clearly it was a point because the best person to judge it on the planet, the bloke who kicked it, and he didn't celebrate. And then he couldn't believe that the umpire had called it a goal.
Yeah.
But once it was called a goal, I don't know.
So we had the right. We think the right decisions are behind, but it's probably the wrong decision, based that it's been overruled on.
Do they see what we see? Have they got another?
I think so. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're looking at the footage we had. I mean, those cameras were pretty quick, so far away that you couldn't have picked anything out of that in terms of. So I mean, the score review is not really designed to pick whether a ball goes over the top of a post or next to a post.
No.
I mean, and the cameras usually have something behind. The footage we saw, every camera was at the other end of the ground.
Just waiting for Link McCarthy to join us, hopefully not too far away from having a chat with the number 11 from the Brisbane Lions. So hopefully he'll join us very, very shortly. He's just partaking in another interview. The Lions... it's
Fair to say, Richmond.
Yeah,
Richmond. Once Prestia went out, their midfield becomes pretty pedestrian. I mean, Trent Cotchin's just not the player he was. He's had 7 effective disposals for the game.
Jack Revolt, they're showing some footage of him from the host broadcaster, not impressed when he walked past the umpire.
The other one who didn't have a huge influence, he did kick 2 goals, but Shea Bolton only had 6 effective disposals, 10 for the night. And Cumberland's only a young fella. He was quiet, and Edwards as the sub, he was really a non-factor, just the 5 effective disposals. So Prestia was a huge loss for them because he had 12 possessions and was clearly their best midfielder, ball accumulator, and they're already thin in the midfield. Martin probably doesn't have the fitness to go into the midfield, and it just left them very, very thin. And then conversely, you've got Neil playing like a German band, 39 possessions and 15 clearances, McCluggage 26, Bailey 24, Zorko 21, and Berry had 14, so their frontline midfielders all fired. It was just probably the difference in the game in the end.
Might be time to go inside the Brisbane Lions rooms, because an old favourite of ours, we love him here at K-Rock Footy. We loved him when he was at the Cats, but we love the fact that he's really taken off with his career, and so he should have at the Brisbane Lions. He gets to play in a winning final tonight. His 50th consecutive game for the Lions. I think he's barely missed since he moved up there about 5 years ago, and he's been good enough to join us on the line. Link, Kingy, Neildy, Penny Cass, pardon me with you. Mate, just give us a sense of the emotion in the Lions rooms at the moment for Geelong Marine World.
King and fellas, great to chat. Yeah, obviously we're pretty pumped. The adrenaline's rushing at the minute. The tea's doing plenty. So, that was an awesome game to be a part of, to be honest. That's why you play footy. The lead just kept on changing. There was never a big lead in the game, and I'm just so stoked that we were able to keep scrapping. And, Joey got his little toe, got his big toe on the end of one, and we were able to get the result. So, yeah, absolutely stoked.
He owes you one, doesn't he? Because you should have been having a shot a couple of minutes earlier to put your team in front.
He does. He owes me a beer in a few weeks' time, hopefully. I was feeling I got a couple taken off me tonight, but obviously just we were able to scrap and get the job done in the end.
Oscar McInerney goes down about 4 minutes into the contest. Link, were you aware of it, and did you realise that there had to be some changes made and that Dan McStay wouldn't be roaming the forward line as much as he normally would?
I was super aware of it, mate. I was on the pine just warming it up for a few other lads. It happened straight in front of me, and I knew he wasn't good, and I sort of thought, far out, she's going to be tough from here. But how good was Dan McStay? Just scrapped all day. He played a brilliant performance tonight.
Link, it's Benny Cass. Thanks for joining us. I know you're good mates with Lockie Neer. You probably want to buy him a beer at some point when this finals are over. 39 possessions and 15 clearances.
Yeah, obviously he's a great player. He's been doing it for years now, and for him to do it again tonight, big final, just shows the quality player he is. So certainly got to buy him a few more beers. He's got to start hitting me up in 450 though a little bit more. So he's a brilliant player. Obviously, great mate of mine. How good was he?
He was absolutely fantastic. How did you go about turning it around? You were so poor against Melbourne. Did you put a line through that game, or did you actually go over it, or how do you get yourself up? Because you looked a very, very different side tonight, slugging it out 106 points to 104, whereas you didn't look like scoring against Melbourne.
Yeah, it was a shocker of a night, obviously, and you lose a lot of belief, obviously, round 23, getting pumped by a good side just before you enter finals. So it was a real balancing act for our coaching group, I imagine. We put a large body of work together over the season, knowing that we can get ourselves in a good position. So we sort of had to draw on that a little bit, as well as look at some little things that we can change. So you didn't want to, whip the arse out of us and lose a heap of belief. We had to go back and look at why we're a good side and basically just believe that we're good enough, to be honest. And that's what the coaching group did. So we got a great result tonight. Hopefully we can do it again next week.
For Geelong Marine World, speaking with Link McCarthy from the Brisbane Lions. Here's Neildy on K-Rock Footy.
Link, congratulations. It was such an awesome game to watch. I got no idea what it would have been like to play, but it's just super and well done. Hey, the forward line, what was the discussion amongst the players? Because, you know, we were talking about your forward line going into the game, and we know most of the time it's got 3 talls and then the 3 smaller ones, although you guys can mark in the air. How difficult was that to adjust tonight when McInerney went down, Dan McStay goes into the ruck, and then he goes off, and Joey went into the ruck for a minute, and you're almost down to 1 tall at times?
Yeah, it was tricky, to be honest. Didn't really know how we were going to do, but we just tried to set up with a smaller guy that was probably more capable in that deeper spot as much as we could, particularly when Joey was in the ruck as well, and Dan McStay was having a